Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of your favorite black male show, the Brother Peel podcast. We are back to the original cast, which is me, LAR Movement, and Steve the Dean. Steve the Dean. We were at some point a four-man team, but someone else had to drop off. And it's always good to get LAR Movement and one of the real original pillars back on the podcast. What's going on, LAR?
Nothing much. What's going on, good people?
Good. It's good to have you again. And then Steve, you got to have all them fucking TVs and shit in the background. Rich ass bitch. I hate him, dog. Look at him. All that expensive equipment and shit in the background and shit. You think you somebody, that nigga? You ain't shit.
I'm
Fuck
rich,
you.
bitch.
Yeah, got himself playing in the background and shit.
I am poor, and I had to borrow this from my cousin Luke, who's a football player. He let me borrow.
Tonight's podcast is something that will be very, very important. Before I do so, I want to just introduce myself. My name is O'Shea Duke Jackson. Follow me on my main channel, O'Shea Duke Jackson, on YouTube as another channel. It's also on the feature channels on this channel. And then also follow the www.negromanosphere.com, which is the lifestyle blog for black men. And LAR Movement, go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you at.
Just LAR Movement on YouTube. That's it.
All right. And Steve the Dean, where can they find you at, player?
You can find me on themanmindset.com, and also my membership is patreon.com/themanmindset. Facebook, The Man Mindset.
Okay. All right. So Steve, this is, very, very important topic in LAR Movement. Many times we're talking about the black community being, necessarily, being in shambles. It's going to take some money to get the black community out of its, lack of business, lack of opportunities. And so instead of black people looking for the blacks that themselves, what we're looking for typically is the community is turning to the elite to bail them out. The rich athletes, your rappers, the black community are turning to these people saying, why can't you help start businesses? Why can't you help start certain things? Why can't you help do this? Why can't you help do that? And many of these people feel obliged to do exactly what they're saying. What we're talking about right now is to bail out the black community, give back to churches, start up community programs with their own money. But we want to ask the question, is this something that these guys should be doing? Why or why not? Well, let's start with LAR Movement, because we already know what Steve's going to say. But LAR, what's your position on this?
This is something that they shouldn't be doing. It doesn't work. It hasn't worked historically. When they do it, they pick the wrong people to invest in. The people that they give money to, in the long run, if they go broke, they can't ask for money back.
Sure.
So, and when they just give their money freely to the community and put up things, people don't appreciate it and they destroy it.
Okay.
So in my opinion, no.
Okay. So let's go to Steve here real quick. Let's ask Steve. Steve, should they be bailing out the black community?
Fuck no.
And why is that?
Why should they? I think we all start in the same race, in the same line. And I mean, you don't have to spend money on Jordans. You don't have to try to keep up with the Joneses. You don't have to do all the things that most black people are doing because they think that status, having shit is status, trying to keep up with the next man. Then how the fuck are you gonna be an adult or responsible adult, but yet you're depending on somebody else's money for your benefit? How does that even fucking work? That's stupid as shit, man.
Well, so Steve, let me go ahead and do this real quick, okay? Because I gotta take the for both of you, I gotta take the opposite talking points. Not that I disagree, but it'll be a very quick podcast if I say fuck no. Okay. let me look at it from a business perspective. If you're a black person and you have a lot of money, we've seen what Magic Johnson's able to do with his money. Let's say I'm not asking black athletes to come back and necessarily give money. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm a liberal black. What I'm asking for, if you're a black person with me, I'm asking you rich elite people to come in and then create businesses for this community, because we've seen other athletes have success doing it. Why can't you guys come out and create a business and economy for those of us who have a hard time getting jobs in the white part of the United States, white jobs, and you guys can invest your money into black neighborhoods, because black neighborhoods need food and water, they need alcohol. The Arabs are there, the Lebanese or the Koreans are there. Hey, why don't you guys come back and invest so we can have black people working there and that money stays in the community? What's the problem with that?
Nope.
Why not?
Because as soon as a police officer beats somebody's ass or something go right, they're gonna be first ones to destroy that shit. You know damn well we are the only people that destroy our own property to get mad at motherfuckers. You never see black people go to the white neighborhoods and destroy their shit. They destroy within. So why would I set up in the community knowing that there's a lot of now wait. Are we talking like a upper middle class black community, or are we just talking about a regular old community?
Could be anything, because most all black communities, I believe, whether it's ghetto, middle class, or upper class, a lot of those people are still looking to the top elite to still create. We're talking about the top richest of the richest. So it could be any part. Let's assume the ghetto parts.
Well, no, definitely not. How many times have we seen the looting? Where's the first thing they do when they go into black neighborhoods? They destroy. They go right to the weave shop and shit like that. They always go in there, or they're running the shoe stores or something like that. No, absolutely not. That's not. No, listen. The best thing you can do is not do that, because we are our own worst enemies, and we will continuously destroy, inflict pain on ourselves and another race or people like us, because that's who we are. So there's no fucking way I would do that shit. If I did that shit, it'll be a chicken and waffle shack. If they destroy that shit, I won't give a fuck. I just put insurance on that bitch.
Okay, but Steve, here's what we're trying to say. Okay. And okay, Steve, let me say this. Let me just say this, okay? I'm not saying that, and from a liberal's talking point of view, what I'm saying is the other people are here doing the same thing, though. There are other groups who show that if they invest in even the lowest class of black communities, they come here and start businesses. They come here and start liquor stores. They come here and do all of this. Why is it that we can't do that? That's all I'm saying. So instead of that money going to the Arabs or to other people, why can't it go to black? Why can't it go to blacks and black athletes that you can outprice them?
Well, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, if I was to take your point, okay. I could say it to me, it can't be done if it's a black owned business run by black people and with black store faces, because psychologically we're not respecting our own people, as if you got a black person who owns a Wingstop or Papa John's or a Domino's. Psychologically, that's white folk stuff. We're not gonna do that much to it. We're just gonna accept it the way it is. That's the issue with these guys starting these businesses.
Okay.
If you bought a McDonald's, nobody has to know that you're black. But if you started a McDowell's, they might just fuck your shit up on GP.
Okay. So what we have here, and the problem that we have here, is what you guys are saying is, if the business is black and they're black people who run it, black folks ain't gonna respect them.
No.
Okay, let's start back with Steve. Okay, Steve, again, same scenario. Okay, we're talking about a black business. We're talking about black people. Why is it not going to work?
Like LA said, man, it's not. You can't. We have been accustomed to not support our own like other races.
Okay.
That's why other races flourish. See, you forgot that one component. If it's an Asian or Arab or white, they're going to support their own no matter what. It is going to be a support system where not only they're going to support it, they're going to tell their friends of other races. It's an easy money maker. But if it's black, I need discounts. Come on, look out for a man. Oh, that's fucked up, man. All that shit, man. It just doesn't work. Now, if you took a black business and put white faces as a face to it, like that'll work, or Korean. Like if you created a business, you were a silent partner, it'll work better for you because then they will see the Korean, the Arab, or the white, and then they will support it more. But if they see your face on there, it ain't gonna happen. Now again, I'm not saying you're gonna get some support, but you're not gonna get the kind of support you would if there was another face on the front of that building.
Okay, so let me do this. Let me do this real quick, okay? Again, I gotta use this particular talking point now because what you're saying is black people are not gonna support that particular business. Okay, now I've been to Magic Johnson's Fridays. Okay, I've been there. It's an awesome restaurant. Not necessarily so awesome, but it's Magic Johnson Fridays. He has I think is it Fuddruckers? I mean, and it's in Ladera Heights. Ladera Heights is a black area. Okay, it's a black area, nothing but niggas over there, from the gangbangers, to the high class businessmen. What we're saying is the reason why that we got to understand when we talk about black business. Could one of the reasons be why that the black businesses are not being supported? Is it the fact that these black businesses are not up to par? Okay, now to be understandable, and I know some of these Korean stores and some of these Arab stores are not up to par, but we do see that black businesses that are up to par do get supported. I mean, I've seen black businesses like Magic Johnson Theaters, Magic Johnson Starbucks, in black neighborhoods. I was at a Magic Johnson Starbucks in DC when I went to Howard University. It was thriving, right? You cannot get any blacker than Georgia Avenue in Washington, D.C. So what I'm saying is with the black athletes who have access to businessmen or who should have access to how to do business right and the correct capital, you can create businesses that are quality businesses that blacks will support. Because Magic Johnson has proven that you can do this.
Here's the thing.
Ghetto. Magic Johnson Theaters out here, that's the ghetto theater. That was always been the ghetto theater. Magic Johnson, that's what they call it, the ghetto theater. You have AMC, you have prominent theaters, but Magic Johnson Theater, that's the ghetto theater. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
They did have better concession stand shit though. But back when it first started. But the thing about that is you saying partially what me and Steve was saying already. It's just Magic Johnson marketing Magic Johnson through a bigger company. Magic Johnson Fridays is Fridays. It just got Magic named on it. You think they would treat it the same if it was AC Green Fridays? Sure. That's the same thing with Starbucks. Could Derek Fisher Coffee do good if it was next to Starbucks? I don't think so. And Magic even knows that because even at AMC, I think that's like a Lowe's theater, really.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a starting point. It's a way to put your foot in the door if you're gradually graduating into your own brand of business. But if Magic Johnson is the staple for what works, that lets you know what we're doing.
Well, I saw this morning around 1 a.m. I was watching the Food Network, and they had a black-owned business. It was what was it? Fuck! It was like you know, it was not Cajun, but it was real ethnic. What are they with the collard greens and the
Soul food?
yeah, soul food restaurant. Yeah, yeah. So it was a black. It was a they were visiting a black restaurant that sold soul food, and it was very. And this is a black owned restaurant. But the sad thing is, guess what the support came from?
Whites.
Yes, it was a black owned business.
Okay.
But the majority of the people in there were not black, and that was it was thriving. It was a very It was very clean, like you say. You talk about the Korean dirty thing, or low. This is a very clean neighborhood, but it was nothing but it was some blacks in there, but the majority were white people in there just eating that shit up, and it was thriving, man.
Okay, let me just do this real quick. So I want to give some shout outs real quick to the brothers, and again, we'll are we doing the call-in tonight, Steve?
Yeah, we are. I just wanted to make sure let me see if we have our
100. Okay, we're 95 watching. Let me do this real quick. I know it's been kind of slow today. Shout out to Eastside Gypsy, my man, $3 out of Detroit. Project Mayhem, walk in and start chicken, $30. Appreciate you guys. Shelly Sterling, what up, baby? $35. Vincent, $2. Darren Brown, the black community needs trust and credibility. Will take a select group of men with good intentions to create the change, but it can happen. And then Original Gentleman 85. If someone rich doesn't give back to the community in the destructive way, then don't support the rich. Not all dudes from Memphis are dumb. All right, shout out to that Original 85. Okay, let's talk about this real quick, Steve. Let's revisit this whole idea of blacks supporting other blacks, because what we are on right now, and shout out to Power and Strategy, he does mention the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam is supported by blacks, non-Muslims. They have several restaurants, many across the city of Chicago. They have their own schools. Many of those students are admitted into higher educational facilities. They have farms. So it can. I think the narrative that we are speaking of is that it cannot be done. And usually that is true. Steve, this podcast that we are on right now, an LAR movement, we are a representation of what is a black male podcast that is supported by black men that are wanting this particular entertainment. So we are living proof. Every day we log on and come on here, you see the super chats, you see the Patreons. I see your Patreons. Well, I know that you're just now coming over to the black sector of things. But Steve, we are supported 95%. I mean, not in your own business, but in the podcast business by black men. So why is it that our stuff can be successful, but the athletes who have way more money and way more connections, why wouldn't they be able to reciprocate what we are doing just on a YouTube podcast and be successful, Steve? Why can't they do it?
I think they can, but I don't think they want to. I think they would rather sell to white people instead. Because money does something to somebody who's never had it. And I know we're going to be talking about that as well later on, but money does something to people who never had money. And when if you're living in the ghetto and you on a come up because you're a great athlete and you come up to all these millions of dollars, you've seen the destruction firsthand. You've seen how black people in certain areas are. Would you go back there and invest if you knew what you saw firsthand? Mm-hmm. About that?
Yeah, that's a good. Let's take LAR movements.
I think one of the things that people skip over is you take athletes and entertainers, younger entertainers. When you kid a person from something to nothing at a young age, the vast majority, the probability of finding a business-minded guy at 18 to 22 who just came from nothing to something to help the community is illogical. You know, you get a kid who just became a millionaire at 19, 20, 21, 22, and now you say, you know what? You need to save the community. Well, you wouldn't ask an 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old who just got out of college to save the community, because you're gonna say you too young, you haven't experienced enough. Your mind ain't right yet. You don't know the world. So they, in some ways, they asking for too much. You know, ask these guys who retired, who had that sort of lifestyle for a decade, and who phased out of having things to what's important. What's up with them? You know.
Okay, and so Steve, what's your take on this?
I'm setting up the thing. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm just setting up the.
All right. Okay, so Steve is setting up the Blog Talk Radio and everything. Let me just kind of do this real quick, brothers. I want to really thank everybody for trying to support us today, liking the videos. My second live stream of today. I know that a lot of you guys have not had a chance to hear the Brother Peel for a minute. So like the video, get the videos up, get the likes up. This is just what I want to say. Now, I'm in totally agreement with Steve in black athletes and entertainers shouldn't be out the black community. What I will say is that the level of how blacks do business and the level of the business delivery, whether it's in a product or service, in ABL, if you want to get on, you're definitely welcome, man. I think that needs to improve. That's something that we need to really discuss and talk about. The delivery and quality of the business and the effectiveness of the delivery has to improve. And I think, once again, what blacks are missing across the world. Let me tell you this, and I'll share this real quick, Steve, and LAR. I was on trying to do some business in Uganda today. I was trying to close a deal for a very small amount of money. It was less than $30. And the people that I were trying to close a deal with, I was trying to buy like some things from them. And they were so stupid that they didn't even reply. I was talking to the person and the person stopped responding. I'm like, yo, are you serious? Like, I'm trying to do business with you. That would never happen in America. So even with you have a business and if people are even trying to buy from you, you make yourself available to take the payment. I mean, this happens all across the world with black people. Don't just think that African Americans are the only one that face this. This is all of us that have this particular unique problem. So again, the delivery of the business. Oh, shout out to Creative Flavor Year Girl. What's up? She's a Ugandan out in Germany. Okay. Hey, how you doing, boo? So glad to see. We got to do a show together. I love your channel. So the way that we do business and the way we're expecting to run business, it has to improve. That's in Uganda. That's in America. All places that are there. And shout out to Creative Flavor Year Girl. I'm glad to have you, Steve. Do we have any callers in queue?
Right now we have one. Yes, sir.
Okay, one. Let's bring the first caller in queue if we can.
Echo 214. What's your name? Where you calling from, sir? Which question?
Hey, Steve. What's going on?
Good with you, man.
Hey, O'Shea, man. What's going on with you, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Who are you, brother?
I'm good. Hey, listen. So y'all talking about this whole black folks need to do better as far as business.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't we do that back in the 1920s and 30s when the Black Wall Street was around, and pretty much we knew how to actually conduct business and work together. But all the way up to when the Martin Luther King came around and you started this whole integration, that's when the black business fell off. I mean, isn't that what we need to get to the root of the problem is in order for us to get a solution?
Can I say something on that, O'Shea?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, here's the thing, 214. One thing I always say, you learn from your past, but you don't live your past, because back then, everybody had different standards. The standards were different amongst black people than they are today. They worked together back then because they had no choice to do it. Now even though we have the choice to do it, we choose not to do it. It's not, I would say that your point that you're making, I see what you're saying back then, but right now it's not, it has nothing to do with us integrating or anything like that. It's just the attitude that we have towards one another. The jealousy and the envy are just great in some places. I'm not saying all places. Some places that won't work, man.
So what you're saying is that if we're not free, then we're going to actually learn how to come together. But then, when we're actually liberated, then that's when we actually hate each other and want to spend money with other races of people.
What do you mean we're not free? I don't understand the question. What do you mean we're not free?
Well, as far as slavery or even segregation or even the Jim Crow, when we couldn't integrate back in the day, we had to rely on each other.
Yeah, that was right. Yes, exactly.
But then
but I don't understand.
But then after that,
right.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just saying I don't understand the question. You're saying because we integrated with other races, we can't. Well, think about this for a second. Now that was then when people had standards and worked together. Let's fast forward to today. Now, again, if you integrate with other races, and I won't just say white, we can just say Arab or something like that, and they give you a higher price on the dollar, better service, and all other stuff, and will work with you. Where are you going to go if you have a choice?
You go my own race.
It's business 101, man.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this real quick, brother. Are you saying we need to get to the root of the problem? Because you're talking about Black Wall Street and how successful it was. And in order for us to go further, we should get to the root of the problem. Is that what you're saying?
Well, what I don't understand is that no other race of people actually go through what we're going through. Why is it that we're the only one that can't really get it together, but everybody else, including the Native Americans, they can kind of get it together and keep their culture together to where they can do business with each other?
Well, let me ask you this.
We can't do it. I mean,
can I answer that?
Yeah, go ahead and answer that.
Well, because everybody else preserves their culture. Everybody else keeps something about their culture to themselves and make sure the world knows it's their culture. What we do is we say this is our culture, and then we give it away, and then we make something new up. And guess what? If you keep giving your culture away, everybody's going to keep making money off of it.
I understand that, but where did this whole mentality come from? That's what I'm saying. Like, where did the root of that come from?
I mean, let me say this.
Subject to that is only us.
Okay, here's the thing. It's not only in America, it may be only us. Okay, and shout out again to Creative Flaviagro. I wish he can come on the show. You see this in even Uganda. Black people, I don't know about whites, but blacks are very tribalistic wherever you go. You can see this anywhere amongst black people. We're very tribalistic people. I don't know if that's innate or I don't know why. It's everywhere you go across where blacks are at. You will see this. You will see this attitude. You will see this mentality. The thing is focusing on why is it the case? I don't know if that's going to help. I think that every black person has the ability to try to, once again, improve the quality of the business to gain support from other blacks. Because right now, as Steve just said, a lot of blacks expect that, if your business is good, you should support me because I'm black. And that's not true. I should support you because if your business is as good as somebody else's, then the last thing I should decide is, okay, he's black, I will support him. This is the problem that we are having. And I think that going back and all that is kind of counterproductive, because if you're trying to wonder why that is, it's not going to help you go forward. Black people are just like that. We don't know why it doesn't matter. The thing is that if black people can do better business and you can actually invest in your business, improve the quality of it, keep your networks good, pay people on time, black business will grow. We have so many people who undercut people out of money, diss people out of money, try to stab people in the back over a few bucks. This happens with black business all across the world. It happens in Uganda, happens in Ghana, happens in Nigeria. And the issue that we need to talk about today is we have the money to have the good quality of business. Can we create the good quality of business and then make a black person say, okay, this white person has a good business, this black person has a good business, both of them are good, I'm going to decide to go to him because he's black. And that's the last deciding factor, not the first deciding factor because, oh, he's black, I'm going to support him.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. But this is the thing, though, and this goes back to what I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I said that the root of the problem, you just said that, well, black folks don't know how to work with each other, so therefore we don't know why, but, you know, we just got to figure out how to actually work together to make better business and better networking. My thing is that why is it that we're going off of trying to create something that we could never do before, but then yet we don't even know why we are like this? Don't you think that the solution is actually understanding the problem that got us to where we're at right now, and then actually get ourselves out of where we're at to where we can even compete with other races of people, even around the world? Don't you think that kind of makes sense a little bit?
No.
Can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
You do realize we're talking, like, some of us are a group of people who you can tell a solution to, but we won't do it because we just don't want to. So even if people have given solutions for years, did people say, okay, we doing it? No. We just like the title of this podcast. We're asking athletes to fix the community. Why? Because a lot of people in the community don't want to fix the community.
Right.
You know how to clean the streets up, you just don't do it. You know how to get the crime off the streets, you just don't do it. You know, it's a completely different story to say, I don't know, then I won't do it. That's two different things.
All right. Well, you got 4. Okay. Thank you, 214. Sir, you got 6 in the queue waiting to talk.
That guy, man. I mean, and shout out to that brother. But I mean, Steve, I know you're a little bit aggravated, but the problem I think with black people like him, and there's nothing wrong with him, people who think like that, you can spend all day and all your fucking life looking at what's the root of the problem. I'm gonna tell you right here. I don't give a fuck who is the root of the problem. If you are the root of the problem, I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, and I don't give a fuck. What I'm looking to do is to work with people who are not the problem, and those people, if there are a little bit of people, then we will try to create for those people who do want a solution. You know what I mean? Again, it starts with every individual person to be the change that they want to see. Go ahead, Steve.
No, I'm sorry. Please continue.
Yeah, and that's the problem with people, man. Individually, every black person, you should individually try to change yourself. You know, we're always looking for the root of the problem. Look at yourself. You could very well be part of it. And you change yourself. And if everybody does that, then the problem doesn't exist anymore. I'm sorry, Steve, go to the next caller if you want to.
Yeah, but I just want to say this is the how black people think. They always want to go to the past with this. They just want to go so far back in the past.
Right.
And use that as an excuse or a reason why to this and that. And we are the only race of people that do that. We're the only ones that want to. It's like it's a built-in excuse to not do anything because that happened back then. Now, again, yeah, you could create your own Wall Street and you can work with black people. No one's saying you can't, but no one wants to work. See, the problem is that black people got to understand business 101. Business 101 ain't about fucking race or your color. If you a real businessman, it's about that green. It's not about the color. And that's the problem with a lot of people. They don't understand that it's about money, man. Because you put a lot of money, hard blood, sweat, and tears in this stuff. I'll shut up and bring the next caller in. Area code 469. Which name are you calling from, sir?
You there?
Let me put my in your mouth.
Man, get that nigga off the phone.
Oh, fuck you, Steve.
So 909, your name, where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, guys? This is James calling from Kelly.
What up, James?
So I just want to start my statement by saying this. You guys have said this like many times before, right? The niggas outnumber the black people, right?
Yes.
Right.
They're more than us.
Yes.
So here's the thing. I don't think that athletes and successful people should go back and just help black people by like, giving in all their money and so on and so forth, because we look like if people aren't going to appreciate it and know what to do with it.
Right.
However, though, you do have people who have a good head on their shoulders. Even a guy like Steve, I listen to the show all the time, and I see Steve go out of his way to help people sometimes with the business because he sees that they're serious. You do have people like that. So in order to fix the problem, I don't think we should just go and try to help everybody. What I do think should be the solution is to put information out there and to put certain things out there where people with serious can come out and reach out to you. For example, like the Negro Manosphere, like the blogs, like starting a business. For example, when I go out to fix my phone, there's actually a business out here that's owned by black people. But the majority of their employees are not black. In fact, I've only seen one black person working for them. But you know what? If they met another young brother or young sister that was serious, they can reach out to her and actually help her. Same thing could be done with a scholarship opportunity, with a scholarship opportunity. And for example, take a guy like me, right? I'm not successful by any means. I work at a restaurant. I'm still building my business. I have my clients I'm working with on the side. I'm a trainer. But you know what? As we speak right now, I'm on Wix.com. I'm building my website. I'm working on it. I'm listening to a podcast. There are guys like that, and there are black girls like that too, that have the potential. So I don't think we should just cut all of them off either and just say, "Oh, we can't help them." And I don't think we should go all in either and try to help everybody. But just reach out to a few, and by helping maybe 2 or 3, guess what? Those 2 or 3 are going to help 2 or 3 more. And now we're looking at exponential growth. And through exponential growth, now we're looking at eventually outnumbering the niggas out there. So it's a long-term plan, but it's a very simple plan. And it's from starting small, even if it means, hey, you started business not in the black community, not majority black employees. We're starting somewhere. We're helping people who are experienced. And by doing that, we actually eventually outnumber the bad fruit. So that's pretty much my thought on that.
No, I definitely agree. Your thoughts, Steve?
Well, what I want to say is, I'll give you an example. I usually tell everybody to watch Shark Tank. I push that, promote that. I tell them to watch Shark Tank so you can learn the language of business. Number one, I always say that on this show. Number two, I always offer, not only on this show, but my show, I offer anybody, especially this show, any black man that has an idea to call in and tell me your idea, and I can automatically, boom, come up with a scenario for you where you can get started. And nobody picks up the phone because again, there's a lot of people out there. You got to understand, young man, this. And this is the biggest problem with black people. It's not the fear of failure, big dog, that they're worried about because they're so used to failing. It's the fear of success and what comes with it that they're afraid of. Because with success and with this, that means, you know what? You got to tell big grandmama and mama, no. You got to tell your brothers and sisters, no, you can't have that. You gotta be able to be strong enough to draw a line in the sand and say, look, y'all gonna have to respect this. This is my business. I'm taking my money and reinvesting it. I'm not gonna give you any handouts. A lot of black people think it's all about, okay, let me get a business, let me get a loan, blah, 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 and I'm gonna live happily ever after. No, because like we're gonna be talking about later on, that's part of the problem that a lot of black people are afraid of because they fear big mama or their parents or their friends, and they don't want to be shunned and kicked out and being by themselves. That's why you have 3 motherfuckers on this panel that are successful, because we can tell our parents, our friends, and whoever to fuck off because our business means that much. That's why we're successful. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. What do you have to say on that, LER?
One thing I'm gonna say is this: people forget that these entertainers and athletes, they've watched the community fuck over the black people when they were kids, when they were teenagers, when they become young adults. So they're not oblivious to how we do people who are trying to do right by the community. And those people will tell them, when you get on, when you make it, do not go spending your money saving these fools. They don't want to be saved. They're telling them this all the time. Most of them don't listen, but they do get told that. You know, but they all black people invest. What is the little girl that has the lemonade? Black players invested in her lemonade because it started moving product, and they was like, you know what, we're gonna, you know, we do for people who do for themselves. You think that little guy that sells bow ties with the NFL and NBA teams, you think the players didn't have something to do with that? Like, look, man, we gonna do for people who do for themselves. But we do have a community that has too many people who want it for free, and that shit ain't gonna fly no more.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree. Definitely agree. Definitely agree, man.
Steve, so you mentioned that if you're doing it for yourself and you're actually trying to do something that you're going to give advice. So if I told you my website, could you take a look at it and tell me what you think about it? You know,
Well, not
if you have the time.
what are you trying to do? What are you trying to do?
So I'm a trainer. I've been a trainer since I was 20 years old. I'm 25 now.
Are you
trying to take things online.
Are you a personal trainer, like fitness?
Yes, fitness trainer.
All right, I already got it already in my head. See, I'm a bad motherfucker. I already got it in my head. This is what you do. First thing you got to do is you got to find a place where you can go ahead and be an instructor. Why? Because most instructors in fitness places, they will follow that person even past and beyond the fitness, beyond the gym that you're working for, the fitness club you're working for. Also, what I recommend you doing is start doing YouTubes, giving free information about exercise and light exercise, and create fitness plans, create food plans and things like that. But also what's very important is that when you have clientele that you make sure that they don't give you written testimonials. Those are gone now. It's all about either the audio or video testimonials that's going to draw them in. But also you got to make sure you have your numbers together. You got to make sure, and I'll check it out. You can go to the man mindset, send me a email. And if I can, like I did the photographer, if I can help you out and tweak the website to help it, I definitely will. But what's important here is that you have to brand yourself. You have to be the brand. So you've got to be the guy. Like, matter of fact, and I'm sorry guys, I don't mean to run my mouth.
Don't do that.
Okay, if you look up, or what I want you to do is go to the Play Store. Go to the Play Store and look up Nike Fitness, I think it is. It's an app from Nike. Look at that. That is your starting point, because why? What they're doing is they're saying, okay, if you can't do an hour workout, we're going to show you small little workouts. But on top of that, you can give them meal plans as well. But what I say is do the free advertising, do the YouTubes. But what's important is get with a fitness, try to get on with a fitness company, a name brand one, where you can do aerobics or do the bike cycling or whatever the fuck they do in those things. And then once you start to build those people up, you can then create clientele from those people, because after it's over, they're going to come to you for ideas of, well, how do I need to eat and what I need? Well, oh, yes, man. Well, you can go to, eatthisfood.com, bitch. You know what I mean? And we'll help you out. So, like I say, I already got it in my head, but you can make it, man. It's very
Steve. I mean, good job. I think he's asking, like, if you looked at his website also, like he wanted you to see his website, I think too.
Yeah, well, I just told him, just send me your website and and your number, and I'll look it over and I'll call you and shit. I'm here to help you, man. So
can I add one thing?
Yeah.
When you build your clientele, start doing online training. Yeah, I know a lot of trainers who do online training.
Online training, yeah, that's man, online training, man. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, even Chris Jones from Food Chasers, a lot of money.
Yeah,
that's my boy, man.
A lot of money in there. Again, listen. Your good news is, I just want to say you real quick as we have other calls. The good news for you, young man, is that you are in a business that is never going to die out. That's the good news.
Right.
always want to be in a business that is always in demand, and fitness will always be in demand.
Right.
So now, but again, you got to make sure now, if you were talking about the black dollar, you're going to have to try to tailor a little bit. You don't just make it all white people. You're going to sprinkle some black people in because, you know, and you got to get some before and after shit, you know, but, you know, are you real quick, are you an example of your work ethic? I mean, did you used to be fat? Now look at you, you're fit. You know, do you have a story? Because your story is going to resonate more with people. So that's very important. But we'll talk about that later. Just send me an email go to the Man Mindset, send me your .com, send me your email, and I'll be happy to call you and we can talk about that offline. Okay, bro?
Well, thank you so much. I'll send that to you right now.
No doubt. Now I will call you after the show is over. You have my word as a man. Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, 909. Okay.
Let me just do it real quick. Still, I got to tell some people out. So the brothers have been super chatting. Lottery Guru, $1. Anti-idiot. Yes, we need a lot of individual leaders, not one leader amongst all followers. History shows that men with followers can just be dismantled. The end. That's absolutely true. Carlos Jean for the Black Minister, $10. Proud Patreon all the time. JJ, thank you so much. We can't work together because we fear another black man will take their bitch by peacocking. $10. Why spend your money on people who don't appreciate shit? Irvin Jones, $10. All good points. Okay, let's go ahead and bring somebody else in, Steve.
All right, yeah, we have 7 in the queue waiting, guys. We are going to get to you all. I see you all in there. Everybody's hitting one, so we would definitely get to you. We're just doing it in order of the longest wait. Area code 419, so your name you're calling from.
Yo, it's Zeke the guy, bro. What's up, Steve? O'Shea, man. LAR. I fuck with y'all.
What's up, man? How you doing?
So the topic is black athletes. I don't think niggas should fuck with that shit. So what I'm saying is, I run a gym, and we don't see as many black people come to our shit as Planet Fitness or any other gym. You know what I'm saying? They don't support. We run a nonprofit where we have youth come in, and you know what I'm saying? We run boot camp sessions. So, like, we see a lot of white people coming in. It's a lot of white women coming in. You know what I'm saying? A lot of white dudes. And our own friends don't even come to our gym. It's fucked up. So it's like, why would you want to give back to that community when you already are offering it? And I'm echoing, man. It's fucking me up.
All right, try now. We don't hear any echo, but go ahead, man.
Oh, yeah. So, my thing.
Just stop listening to yourself and just talk. Just stop listening to yourself and talk. Take the phone out your ear and just talk. Yeah, just talk. Just talk. Talk, man.
Oh, yeah. So my thing is, like, when you got black people that's doing shit in the community, trying to better the community, it's crazy to see a motherfucker won't support it, but they'll go to the white people. They'll go to the white people and they'll support everybody else. What y'all take on that?
We'll go ahead, Steve.
It's crazy that you said it because the nigga just called and Steve, you was just talking to me for real. I don't even know what to say because you basically just said the same shit to me. I'm fucking tripped out. That's why I don't even know what to say.
Well, you know, hey, the thing is, I haven't even told them about the books and stuff that you can do for children. So I got tons of ideas. You just gotta ask the simple question, and that's the kind of black support that we give on the Negro Manosphere. So, you know, that's all I say. Just, you know, we want to help you, but again, I'm not gonna beg y'all motherfuckers to get off your ass. I'll put the weapons on the table, but if you want to keep throwing dirt rocks at tanks, go right ahead.
Yeah, our gym is well known in the community, but it's like we don't see a lot of black support. Like, we do a lot of things that you said up to the other guy. Like, we have videos, we have certified trainers in the gym, we do community events, and we have it there for them. But it's like more white people come, and it's like your own people won't even come fuck with it. So it's a slippery slope when you see athletes that want to come back and do for their community, but they don't even fuck with you until you get on top. They don't fuck with niggas on the bottom trying to get on.
All right. Well, y'all got anything on that, guys?
Well, what do you have to say about the LAR movement? Talk about that real quick.
Yeah, I mean, to a degree, we got to be considered winners. You're not the man until everybody in the world acknowledges you the man, and that's a bad. I think athletes and entertainers, we consider them winners, but I think our community does not know what a winner looks like when it comes to business. We don't know what a potential winner looks like when it comes to business. We only know this guy got to the league. This guy's on TV. He must be a winner. We don't know. We can't spot a black Steve Jobs, a black Bill Gates. We can't spot that. We can't spot a black Elon Musk because we don't look at those people as winners. Shit, a lot of business people, a lot of people don't even know who the fuck Warren Buffett is. Rich black people know, middle class, but poor, don't know who the hell that is. Don't know anything about finance, don't know anything about business like real estate or anything like that. You know, we don't have we don't put as much stock into a winner at business. It fucks us up. My apologies for rambling.
No. It's fine. Let me just say this real quick. There's a saying that the white man's ice is colder. Now it's interesting that this particular person that called in mentioned that he does see white people coming to the gym, but he doesn't see black people coming. Well, we also got to understand that something like the gym, black men might come, but most black communities are dominated and ran by black women. Black women are not going to show up. That's just what it is. You also got to understand that certain things black people will show up to. Lil Wayne concerts, Leroy's Barbecue and Ribs, Church of God in Christ conventions and shit like that. Shit like gyms, self-development. I mean, throw a house party, niggas will show up. World Star twerk parties, motherfucker twerking in sandals, niggas show up to that. Dice games. I mean, this type of shit the niggas show up to. Gyms, calculus classes, self-development, self-improvement activities. This is not things that most blacks, especially those blacks who are in inner city ghettos, you gotta understand. I'm from the hood, okay? I love my hood niggas. I'm probably one of the most ghettoest motherfuckers that's on black YouTube. Listen, nobody in the ghetto, a lot of people in these ghettos don't ever feel that they will ever get out of there. You telling them like, come improve yourself and work out. Come read. Come do math problems. Come to medical school. You're not gonna find niggas doing shit like that in these neighborhoods. You will find white people doing that because white people, among I think wherever they live, white people have the belief that I can make it. That's a lot of how white people feel. So they if you have a free gym, a white person that's bright is going to say, "Hey, I can go work out for free." Well, fuck yeah, I'm going to go. Don't matter where it's at. You see white people in Africa, even black African Americans want to go to Africa. Whites are going there like crazy because they see opportunities. Niggas are not going to go anywhere where opportunities are. Okay? Doesn't matter. And again, if they're going to go to a gym, they're not going to go to the gym in the neighborhood. They're going to drive past that motherfucker and they're going to go to 24-hour fitness. They're going to go to Gold's, LA Fitness. Because again, they want to put their Instagram, I'm over here at 24-hour. I'm spending $50 a month. That's just how niggas are. The white man's ice is colder. So, I mean, that's just the mentality of blacks, and that's just something that we got to deal with, and that's all. Steve, anything you got to say?
No. You got calls, man.
You saw that chicken Hennessy parties? Niggas show up to that, though.
That was funny, though.
Okay. All right. Who we got next, Steve?
All right, we got 7 in the queue, man. The lines are fucking blowing up, sir. All right, DMV. This is from the DMV, 301, from my hometown. What's up, 301?
What's good, Steve? What's good, O'Shea?
What's up, dog? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Now I believe no, and when it comes down to the athlete actually trying to support, because let's be real. When it comes down to black people, it's hard for them to actually support you. Look at Kaepernick. He did what he could and tried to kneel, and they made a good fuss, but nobody really having Kaepernick back when it comes down to the community. And he basically by himself now. And not only that,
let him finish, Steve. Let the people finish, dog. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Steve got a bad problem with that. Not letting the callers finish themselves. Go ahead, finish, man.
Steve, whatever you say, I respect, bro.
I get what you're saying. What you're saying is Kaepernick tried to take a stand on behalf of black people, even though I don't think it was a really good idea. But he did that. And what you're saying, your point is blacks did not support him. What you're saying?
Yeah,
I agree. That's true.
But that's anywhere. Like right now, I'm developing my own business, and I'm like, I got white people supporting me, and I have maybe none. When it come down to black people, I have a business meeting to go to in a couple more weeks, and I'm trying to prepare for that now. But I'm like, I got that from a lady when I'm driving for Lyft. And I was having a conversation with her with this, and next thing you know, she sent me an email after I gave her my business card, thanks to Steve. And boom, I got an interview to actually help support my company. But black people, you can't get them to do nothing like that.
Okay, let me do this. And before Steve responds, Steve, what he was saying is because Steve is like the pit bull, man. He hears something remotely that he doesn't like. He's an attack dog. But let me clarify because Steve has we're praying for Steve's listening abilities. Because he's ready to just know. Okay, Kaepernick, the people that support him, whether or not we agree with him or not, we don't. The blacks that support Kaepernick said they supported him. And what Kaepernick supporters proved is that it's not worth sticking your neck out for blacks because they'll say they'll support you, but eventually they're going to leave you to be worth a fuck. Ain't no money in it. And I think that's the point you're making. Okay, Steve, come on and cuss us both out.
No, I'm not. DMV, look, just make sure when you go to that interview, man, you just send me an email at the Man Mindset as well. And if you want to talk, because there's certain ways that you got to. You're presenting to white people, am I correct?
Oh yes, my company's called Grow and Grow. I'm actually doing in-house growing.
What are you growing?
And what are you growing?
Weed?
No marijuana, just food, bro.
You're wait, at your house.
Weed, I might have bought some off you, nigga.
No, actually in the building. I actually have an idea so you can actually make it mobile. Have you ever heard of aquaponics?
I've heard of it very, very briefly, but not know too much about aquaponics. But I've heard of it. Yes.
Yeah, but basically it's a cycle of fish and plant. Use the fish waste to actually use for fertilizer for the plant.
Wow.
And you can keep it in a closed environment, so you got to worry about pesticides. You ain't got to worry about no chemicals.
Shit, black people ain't gonna be on that.
And I'm making it mobile to a lot of companies.
Wow, that is awesome. That is awesome, young man. Hey, I'm glad you was able to talk to that lady and give her your business card. Congratulations. Now, on the Kaepernick thing, to me, the reason I will never support, there are a few reasons why I won't support that Kaepernick bullshit. Because if Kaepernick came into the league, I've always said if Kaepernick came into the league like this, I would be okay, all right. But he didn't do that. He started doing this when he hooked up with some chick. And I know y'all want to say, well, sometimes it might take a chick to enlighten you, whatever. But the bottom line is this: where the thing that pisses me off is when someone like Ray Lewis is doing everything he can to get you a job. And in Wooten, I think his name, I forgot his name was. He was with Muhammad Ali when they took that stand back in the day. They're trying to help Kaepernick out, but yet Kaepernick's girlfriend wants to post a Twitter picture on there, and he didn't even denounce it. Now that's where I have the problem at, because it's like, see, the thing about victims and stuff like that, what they do is, I don't really think Kaepernick wants a job. I think he wants to stir up the pot. That's what I think he's trying to do, because the NFL has nothing to do with the injustices that police do with black unarmed men. That's football. You don't bring that shit to football. But anyway, I'm not trying to make this shit political. I'm just saying that the problem is that and I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm probably gonna piss some people off. If I'm pro-black, okay, you're not gonna listen to me if I tell you let's save some money so we can work on education, and let's get these teachers in where they can teach these young men more. Y'all won't listen to me. You'll listen to me when I bring up police officers, white supremacy, or slavery. Those are the key talking points that people use, because they know, again, black people are going to be so angry and so mad, they'll listen to that before they listen to education. But that's here nor there. But whatever y'all. I mean, I'm just saying, just send me an email and we'll talk afterwards. But yeah, but y'all.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve, on that. Also, what I'm also saying is, like you said about the chick, you know, he didn't tell her what was up. You know, he basically fucked up his whole life because of what she said. Instead of her being in her place and you know, just be quiet and let him handle his business, he lost millions.
Yeah.
So I can respect that.
So it's a little bit.
That nigga lost a lot of money, dog. Fucking with that broad.
But thank you, 301. We appreciate the call, because we got other calls in the queue. But thank you, sir. All right, O'Shea, whenever you're ready, you got 7 more in the queue.
Okay, let me just do this real quick. I got super out. I got a brother from Britain. Thanks so much, fam. The Tama X2. He says, is a big problem just the fact that we talk about athletes and entertainers really means we don't have many other wealthy blacks in other professions. There's plenty of money in STEM, but it doesn't command respect. That is an excellent fucking question. Now, again, this is from Great Britain, the United Kingdom. So what this is telling me, because I see 20 British pounds, this is telling me that the same problems that we must have in America amongst the black community is synonymous with the same issues that the British black community must have. I'm going to answer that. Let me shout out again to Darren Brown. I believe black people lack identity. Other minority groups are less impacted by media because they have stronger sense of self. Cohesion is needed. I definitely agree with that. Steve, that's what I want to say to this one before we go to the next caller. This is from 20 British pounds. I do thank the United Kingdom brothers who do support the show. The reason why black people, okay, because let's understand this. I just started a new podcast pre-recorded called The Truck Stop. It was motivated by our truckers that support the show. So I made a Truck Stop podcast. We posted the first episode on the main channel. It's a little slow. It's going to pick up because people are not really used to that podcast yet. But a lot of people did not realize that you have so many black male truckers that make so much money. You know, we don't look to truckers like as having an economy. We don't look at black doctors as having an economy or black nurses as having an economy. See, what black people think is that all the people who have all the money are what you can see. So what the black community does when they want to make an ask or when they want to demand something from people, they want to demand stuff from people that they visually see. Now, it's not the fact that we don't have many other blacks in wealthy professions. We do. It's just that most black people don't think about black engineers, or they don't think about the black doctors or black optometrists or black pharmacists. We don't think about these people or black entrepreneurs. What blacks want to do is they want the blacks that they can visually see. And we do need more blacks in those other kind of, STEM fields, but we're looking for the blacks that we can see. Okay, we see that you have a nice lifestyle. We see you live in a nice home. So we want you to give. But it is also true, though, that there are big money in STEM, big money in academics in certain fields. Thomas Sowell, the great economist, has pointed out that many blacks do not respect education because you have to understand there is a separation between smart blacks. Smart, intelligent blacks are known for acting white. Okay, white acting. And this happened during slavery because, of course, you got to understand that in the slavery days, intelligent blacks were well respected, right? Because those are the blacks that were capable of causing a revolt. So again, what whites did is they separated they made the lower tier dumb blacks hate the higher class blacks. So all in the black community, intelligence is not respected. The only type of intelligent blacks that are respected in the black communities are one that are on the left. But I think you make a great point. Steve, did you want to weigh in on that, or LAR movement?
Well, if LA wants to, I got something to say. But LA, do you have something to say on that, sir?
Yeah, I do. Nobody knows the lady's name who invented the LASIK surgery. Nobody knows the brother's name who invented the game console. Nobody knows the name of the designer. Either he designed the Chrysler 300 or the Cadillac CTS. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody knows the woman and her husband who designed the security system. Like, and we don't realize people don't even know a boy's name that did the Super Soaker. I'm not saying their names publicly because you should look it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, the simple things that we use in our day-to-day life that black people have actually created in this time period, even people who get credited for creating the cell phone, you don't know them like you know Michael Jordan.
Right.
You don't know them like you know LeBron James.
Right.
And that's the biggest problem.
No, I definitely agree to that. That makes absolutely a lot of sense. Steve, what do you want to add in on that?
Well, I think the problem that we're having is that when we hear successful black men speak, they're either called a coon or Uncle Tom or a sellout because of their thinking, and that's our biggest issue. We have successful black men out there. See, the one, you know, like you say, you have silent partners, people that are quiet about this shit, but you have people who have made it, and when they speak on issues or they speak and they're trying to educate black people, they're always being tore down by those same black people that complain that there are no black people out there trying to help. But the help they're looking for, the thing about black people, the level, let's say about class, certain class of black people, they're expecting that same class of advice. But see, when you're one step above a certain level, some people cannot understand that the thinking is different. All black people do not think alike. And I think the problem is black people want all black people to think alike. I want you to understand that, you know, even though I sit around the house and I don't do nothing, the white man's hold me down. There's white supremacy. There's racism everywhere. And if I go out my house, the cops gonna beat me up. But if you can't understand what I'm saying, fuck you. You sell out. You ain't shit. Look at you. You're fucking cool. That's what you get. That's just what it is. But what O'Shea, real quick. I tell people to watch Shark Tank, and I just pulled it up, and I know LAR moving out, or he mentioned about that little girl and that little boy with the bow tie. They came from Shark Tank, but they have been black people who have gone on Shark Tank, who have sold things. I'm looking at it right now. A black woman selling an upskirt for black people. A black man selling called Pet Plate. He started this December 2016 and he got a deal. A black woman selling swag essentials for people. A black man selling he's doing a hammer and nails grooming shop for guys. Two black women, Soulful Cuisine. They're doing that. A black man, no tie sneaker laces, making money. A black woman, the Painted Pretzel. She's making money. And another black man, the Spritzer. See, this is when people try to say that we can't make it and there's racism and there's all these things. This is the point where I'm trying to say that they hate me for, but we are in a time right now where we have opportunities to invest and grow. I mean, where would would they be a Negro manosphere if there wasn't for the internet? There wouldn't be a man mindset. I don't know where I would be. O'Shea, do you know where you would be? I have no idea what I would be doing right now. I'd be selling.
Hi, I'm Natalie Sportelli from Forbes, and we're here to pick up Jessica Scorpio.
What the fuck?
That was on Forbes. It's a Forbes website. But I would be selling out the back of my trunk still. So I'm just saying that it's just, I know I'm just meaning to go be long-winded. I'm just saying the problem is you get sick and tired of trying to tell somebody something.
Right.
You is get tore down for it when you can tell another race the same thing and they will not only praise you for it, but they would appreciate it more. That's all I'm saying.
No, I definitely agree. LER, anything you want to add on that?
I know a guy who played in the NFL who got his knee hurt, couldn't play anymore. You know what he decided to do? Become an agent. You know what he is? He's one of the biggest agents in America right now.
Wow.
That's because you think differently. Like Steve said, like, okay, well, I can't do this, I'll do this. I know guys who played sports in college, didn't make it to the NBA. You know what he is now? He's like an assistant head coach at a major D1 college, basketball coach. People don't, you know, you can go in one direction and wind up somewhere else. That's okay. You know, there are guys who did one thing and they couldn't make it, and guess what? That drove them into a different avenue. You know, a lot of people, just because you have one dream and that dream didn't work out, doesn't mean there aren't millions of other dreams.
Right.
But
You know,
can they deal with that though? Can they deal with the loss? Do they have the strength to keep moving? And like I said before, LAR, remember, you know as well as I do, they handle dealing with their friends and family. They can't do that. That's why they have the problem.
I feel you, because you got to have quitters quit. You know, winners keep going. You're going to fail to become a success. You're not going to just be successful just because. It ain't God-given and God-blessed, and it ain't, you know, you're anointed. No, you're going to pick yourself up off the floor plenty of fucking times to win. Let me get this door. I'll be back.
No, I definitely agree. I definitely agree, man. Let me just do this real quick, Steve. For those of you guys who are listening to the show, we're on the original trifecta of the Brother Pill podcast. Hey, brothers, will be great if you guys could like the video. Right, we have 160 of you watching. Okay, this is the Brother Pill podcast. You know, it's an additional show. We've been busy lately, right? I've been doing a lot of different things. Steve has been on the Snitch Network doing a show with Star in the Morning and doing the midday show with me. But again, we try to give out the content that is needed. So what we want to do, brothers, is support the show by liking the video. For those of you on the restream, like the video. There's no reason why we have brothers who are listening to the Brother Pill that are not liking the video today. And also what we want to do is for the brothers who want to see more black male shows like this. Again, we are really putting a lot of work for newer brothers, right? We always have the same people that donate. Again, we always want to petition brothers who are newer to the podcast or typically don't donate. You know, if you want black male stuff that's dedicated to you and topics that like this that you can talk about, then if you have an Android phone, consider hitting the super chat button, right? $1, $2, whatever. It doesn't an amount, but it's a show that you support black men who are trying to create content for you. We are trying to really create a network of a community that wasn't really there before. Okay, last year it was kind of forming up, but it's not as organized as it is this year. Okay, the NegroManosphere.com and it's Carlos Jean again. Always support, but we need new brothers, right? We need brothers who typically don't do it. Step up and be shown. Support us. If you have an Android phone, if you don't, there's a PayPal that you can hit. But we want to be able to keep creating content for you. Not only do we create content for you on this show, the Negro Manosphere creates content every day on the NegroManosphere.com, the Negro Manosphere Facebook page. So if you guys are on the Negro Manosphere Facebook page, that's a whole different group of people that's over there, right? So we have so much stuff that we're doing. Last thing before we get to the callers, I got a new video coming out in the next 72 hours called Simp Booty Reaction Videos. And it's a new thing that I'm trying out with my friend Mantha Cakes TV. Check out her YouTube page. She's a twerker. I know her from back home. It's in California. So we're going to do our first Simp Booty Reaction vlog. It's going to be hilarious, right? So that's going to be coming up pretty soon. and we're trying to bring as much entertainment as we can to you, brothers. So, Steve, back yet?
Yes, I've been here.
Steve Miller. Okay, sorry. Let's go take this caller, Steve, if we can.
Area code 314. You're on it, sir. What's your name? Which question?
Yeah, this is Brandon there from St. Louis.
What up, Brandon L? What's up, Pippin?
What up, O'Shea? What up, brothers?
What's up, fam? How you doing?
I just want to say, as far as the black athletes doing stuff for the black community, the reason why I wouldn't want them to do it because they might end up like Antoine Walker, Allen Iverson, and if you go to entertainers like MC Hammer, they did a whole lot of stuff for blacks, and they became broke.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody there to lean on. They ain't got nobody to lean on to help them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then as you go for blacks not helping each other as far as like Damon John, he should have been a billionaire. A lot of blacks should have been supporting FUBU.
Right.
That could have been a new Gucci, Louis Vuitton, but like the white man's ISIS colder for some reason.
Yo, can I say something about that real quick?
Sure.
If I am mistaken, didn't he buy Coogee?
Yeah, well, Damon John.
Yeah.
But that plays into it, like people FUBU's go like this is I think a Pharrell shirt from Pharrell shit. But if he had to buy a Coogee for guys to start buying that because they didn't want to support FUBU no more because quote unquote is old, what does that tell you? I think Jay-Z did the same thing with Ace of Spades.
True.
So it's like I just thought about this. I'm looking dead at this shit right now. I'm gonna say this real quick. The watch I got on right now came from a black website called Third Eye Watch. They was a tech company who they started using eyeglasses that had cameras in them, camera phones, recording devices for everybody who said they was going through all these police brutality things. So a lot of hidden cameras, right? And chain pendants and all kinds of shit. I looked at for the website last week, they were selling it because nobody was supporting it. Now we as a community are talking about, what's going on, even with quote unquote police and police brutality. And when the website came out that had the stuff that we could use to quote unquote fight it, guess what? Didn't happen.
Niggas ain't shit, dog.
And I just got one more thing to say also. As far as like what you brothers are doing, like it's mind blowing to hear you guys talk like this because I grew up around a single mother and she used to always watch Oprah, all The View, all them women shows, and we didn't have no shows where black men was talking about business. It was just nothing about rap. We got to play basketball, and that's all I saw. So I really appreciate what y'all doing, bro.
Oh man, thanks so much, man. Shit, before, damn, Theron Williams just dropped a god damn. Shout out to Brandon L, man, but damn, Theron Williams for the Black Male Media Movement, great white girl. Keep up bringing this fire, bros need to know. Theron Williams just dropped $100. God damn, Theron. Shout out to TW, man. Again, that's one of our truckers, man, that support the show. And damn, I got to get him on. I've been meaning to get him on the new truck stop. But Theron is all that's $100. Damn, that nigga got money. Shout out to him, man. Appreciate you so much, fam. Steve, who else do we have in the queue?
6 in the queue, sir. When one goes, 2 more pop in. Area code 323. What's your question for O'Shane?
Yes. My name is Kobe, and I just wanted to say I have a question for LR Movement and O'Shea. What I want to ask is, do you agree or disagree? I noticed that black people are very money-minded, not business-minded. What is your take on this, LR and O'Shea?
They're very well. Black people are Black people are consumers. Here's the reason why I feel that this is. Have you ever saw a video called "How to Sell to Black People"? This is a very good video that was made like in the late 50s. You saw it before LR Movement?
Yeah.
How to Sell to the Negro.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's the problem. The Negro And this video sums it up, and white people actually really understand this. The Negro has been without clout or status since the inception in this country. Black people, even in Africa to this day, and Africans who have not even had issues directly with white people as far as oppression, they're the same way. The Negro is looking for acceptance. The Negro is looking for status. This is the reason why if Black people feel that whites don't like them, they take it very personal. Because Black people, historically, we have been trained to want, we have been without status for so long. So if we can't get it in society, we try to associate our status with certain brands. And this is the reason why Black people are the number one consumer. You know, now we don't consume the things that we sell because, again, the brands that Blacks sell are not higher tier brands, right? That's why Blacks love Nautica. Blacks love Tommy Hilfiger, right? Because if I'm associated with a brand that's like that, then obviously, you know, I'm gonna get status. So that's why Blacks are always looking for acceptance. That's why, you know, in entrepreneurship teaches you the total opposite. An entrepreneur is not looking for acceptance. Entrepreneur is trying to make money. The entrepreneur is looking for stability. And see, it's hard work in that. See, status is you can get it instantly. Go ahead.
No, reason why I was asking is because I know about money-minded. I mean that they're about their money, but if you try to go talk to Black people about from a Black business approach, they wouldn't really understand you. They said like, it's only coming about money, and I said don't talk in a business manner. They say money, that's it. They don't want to talk about it in a business fashion.
Yeah, that's niggas don't do that. Niggas want to talk about they want to get money so they can spend money and get status. That's niggas when they want money, they don't want money to invest. Niggas want to have a lot of money to count it off and to buy shit. That's why niggas want money. Go ahead, LER.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where when you even look at people when they die, they inherit stuff. Some people do not, that's their moment because they never got a chance to shine in life, to blow it all and stunt for the world. And the responsibility of making sure the next generation has anything is not even in the equation. You know, and that's where the problem is between, sometimes we're more income minded. I want somebody who makes this amount of money, not necessarily a person who saves this amount of money, or like O'Shea said, invest this amount of money. And I think there's just something that has become a lost art in our community. You know.
Can I ask you one more thing, LR?
What?
I just thought of this right now. It was kind of similar topic, but it's a good idea. And one thing I noticed about Black women and females, like you can be financially stable, but we're not financially able to be with their lifestyle. Like financially stable to go with their lifestyle, but financially stable to do the basic necessities.
That's a female thing though. It's like females always have a backup plan, and it's called men. That's what they feel like, and they, you know, they always got a man somewhere to back them up or bail them out. So it happens, you know.
Yeah, man is like a mattress when you fall off.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens, man.
Man, if you don't have anything, if you don't have a parachute, you're screwed, you know.
That's America, bro.
What's Steve doing right now?
Yeah. Well, that's all I wanted to say.
Shout out to that dude, whoever he was, Steve. And again, shout out to Theron Williams, man, for donation. But Steve is look at Steve, man. That nigga seems so disinterested, bro. That shit is crazy.
You got another caller, sir.
All right, go ahead and go some other callers, man. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick, okay? So go ahead and do that.
What's your question, sir?
Is it me?
Yep.
Yeah, hey, my name is Frank Paul, and I am 18. I live in Massachusetts, and I'm a senior in high school. And I actually want a bachelor's degree in graphic design. And I want to know where to start if I wanted to be a freelance. Like how small? Like where should I begin?
Start building your clientele in college where you go.
in college.
Yeah. You're gonna have a lot of people who have a lot of, you know what? Steve got the mind on this. Let me back on my ass up. Do it. You got it, bro.
But wait, now again, I'm ignorant. Graphic design, do you draw?
Yeah, I mostly like draw, work on computers, like web design. I actually want a career in web design. If I took that road, the freelance, where should I start?
Well, okay. What's very important is no one knows you, right? In order for them to know you or get to know you, you got to be able to put your work out there. You got to get your work out there where it starts to circulate. People's going to notice what you're doing. One thing I would recommend you doing, okay, is get a pencil real quick.
All right.
Okay.
I'm on my laptop.
Okay. Well then,
I'm ready.
oh, then go here. Well, never mind. You go. Okay. Have you ever heard of Fiverr?
No.
Okay. Go to Fiverr.com. Okay. Now, what that is that people will hire you for $5 jobs, but it's not $5 anymore. It's gone up. But you can utilize this is just a small way to begin and get some income in for you. Okay, for what you're doing. Okay. Because people are looking for a little bit of everything on that site. So what I would say is start there first. I mean, that's the place you can start to get a little bit of income in. Okay, because based on your work, they're going to rate you. And the more you get rated, the higher you come until you become a 1 tier, 2 tier. And then you're going to have your face plastered under graphic designs or anything, you know, is once you get your really foot in there. So that's just one way of income right there. Second way of income, like I always tell you, you got to use the free advertising, the YouTubes and the Facebooks and things like that to start promoting your stuff. But also, you know, I say go get your school, get your education, all the other stuff. See if you can get a job with a graphic designs company and things like that. But while you're doing that, do some other things on the side as well. Okay.
All right, but one more question. For internship. Like, how hard is it to get one?
Well, I can't really, I don't know much about internships when it comes to graphic design, but what I would say is that that's something you can easily Google up on Google. I mean, or YouTube. I mean, shit, YouTube has and Google has just about every answer that you can imagine asking. So what I recommend you doing is either doing that or find a graphic design company, call someone over there and see if you can meet, get a meeting. Because again, one thing they love is young men who have aspirations of money, making money. So, you know, if you could offer to take somebody to lunch or something like that, or, you know, I'm not saying you have a lot of money, but I'm just saying just things like that, just to pick his brain on how they got where they're at. That might be something that you can do. Okay, guy?
Can I add on to that?
Oh, just keep the caller on to you. Hold on a second. Anthony Brown Lung wants to talk to you. Anthony, because Anthony's in graphic design. ABL, check your inbox because I'm banned on Facebook. So there's a page from our real page, another page I just sent. So if you check your inbox, there's going to be like a message from a new page, and I just sent you a friend request. So you'll know it when you see it, because I can't see anything from my Facebook, and I don't want to put the link in the damn chat because 1,000 niggas will click it and try to come onto the show.
Graphic designs, okay, we got you covered.
Okay, so hold on a second. So ABL just clicked this, so let's see what we got here.
Then I'll say this real quick in the meantime.
Okay.
When you start college, they got a counselor's office just like they do in high school. And I did this because I had an intern in college. You go to that counselor's office, basically. They used to have a book. I'm pretty sure everything else is online, of all the businesses that are looking for interns in that are partnered with your school. Find the one that fits you the most and intern there. At the least, by the time you graduate, you'll have quote unquote experience. You're not going to be, the king of the hill there. You're like Steve said, you might be running coffee, picking somebody's brain. You just might be a person in the room that's a fly on the wall. Soak up all the information when you're there. and you're gonna get a foot in on everybody else. If it goes to the point where you need a job after it's all over, because what they're gonna wind up doing is you can already say on a job application that you have 4 years of experience.
Hey, Grandma, did you hear that?
What the fuck is that? Hold on a second. Okay, ABL's on.
Yo, I'm here.
Okay, what's going on, man? Is that Steve with all that shit? Steve's always fucking up some stuff, man. Shout out to Steve. What's up, ABL?
It ain't that, man. Is the caller still on?
Let me put myself.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, cool. Hey, I'm a graphic designer. Been one for about 10 years, freelance, so I can answer your question directly. That's why I wanted to get on. Man, where you want to start? First of all, Steve, you're a good guy. I like you, like everybody on here. But Fiverr, do not get on Fiverr. Fiverr is not where you want to go. Fiverr is that's not what you want to do. You want to be able to establish something in your local area. Where do you live? Do you live in a big city, small town? What's going on?
I live in Massachusetts. I'm moving to, I'm like next to Boston. So.
Okay, next to Boston. Okay, so where in the place that you live, you want to be able to establish something around you. Try to find a place that needs some graphic design, like any kind of small shop. It could be a bakery, it could be a mechanic, it could be anything.
A community college in New York.
You said what now?
Community college in New York.
Is that where you're going to school?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Can the caller hear me?
Hello?
Caller, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so keep talking. Go ahead.
Yeah. So community college in New York.
Okay, so that's where you're going to school. So you're gonna be leaving Boston area.
Yeah.
Come on, you gotta. Can you hear me? And like, am I coming through?
Just tell him, ABL.
All right, I'm gonna just talk. I'm gonna just say it. So if you can't hear me, you can't hear me. Whatever, you're gonna be able to see it on the restream. Now, the thing about it is, wherever you're going, wherever you are, you need to establish contacts in that area. Like when I was in school, when I went to a community college, I was meeting people in the school, and I kept them as contacts. I was networking. You network wherever you are. That's the key. Networking, because it's all about who you know. When I first started doing graphic design, a friend of mine from college called me and said, "Hey, I need a CD cover. I need an album cover. So I need you to do it for me." I'm like, cool. So that's how I started. I started doing that. And then I was looking for other people that needed my services. It was people that were in the print industry. If you got like any kind of small print shops, wherever you are, it doesn't matter if you are away at college or at home, I suggest you stay in the local area to do graphic design where you live or where you want to live in the future, because you want to make contacts in the area where you're going to have your business at if you want to start out doing freelance stuff. And also, do not go to anything beyond a 2-year college if you want to go to graphic design, in my opinion. Now, if you want to get into advertising, that's fine. Go get your bachelor's degree, or something like that. All right, Steve, come on, man. You got to tighten up.
We've got a sitter. Let's get wild tonight.
All right. But anyway. All right. But yeah, do not go anywhere beyond a 2-year. Like if you just want to be freelance and that's it, 2 years is fine. If you're young, I say go ahead and get your 4-year, especially if you want to get into advertising. If you want to do if you want to become an advertising manager, some kind of high level position in the ad agency, go get your 4-year. What now?
An in-house designer.
Well, in-house designer, that's not ad agent. Like when I'm talking about with an ad agency, if you want to get high level, that's not really getting into design. Like I've done many jobs in my career. I've been a printer. I've printed on a big machine, print and cut and box jobs. I've been an in-house designer. I've done web design. I've done marketing in general. You're going to have a lot of different things that emanate from your design skills. Also, video editing, that goes right along with it. And you need to be practicing all of these skills now. And you also need to be looking at what industry is in demand. Like with me, what I know right now is that design as a graphic designer, just doing flyers and stuff like that, that's not really in demand, in my humble opinion. You need to understand the elements of being able to put together a project from scratch in Photoshop, learn the entire Adobe suite, and just get good at your skills, regardless of what you get as an assignment from your teacher. That shouldn't be the end of your practice. You need to be always trying to get better skills constantly. Don't just say, okay, I have this portfolio of classwork. You need to be doing tutorials, go to YouTube, look at the free tutorials and get better. Continuously sharpen your skills. You need to be good at Photoshop first, then Illustrator if you want to do t-shirt design, because you need to be good at vector graphics. Also get good at Premiere Pro, that's a video editing software, because in your career as a graphic designer, you're going to be doing probably three main things. You're going to be doing basic advertising design, flyers, coupons, stuff like that. If you're working at a low level, then you're going to be doing more complex stuff, vehicle wraps, t-shirt designs, stickers, stuff like that. It needs to be vector and hand drawn or drawn with a pen on the computer. And then you're going to be doing video editing, right? You can look on YouTube and see different things. You may get into After Effects and that kind of more advanced stuff. You can even do like video game development if you're good at math and stuff like that. But get good at Photoshop first, then Illustrator, then Premiere Pro, and then expand your skills from there.
Yeah, I actually joined a club in my high school, and I'm the only graphic designer, so they actually need. I only got like this one more question.
All right,
dude. No, you got. Go ahead. It's your last one.
No, let me get him. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You've been on for a minute.
Oh, did you charge your first customer, or did you?
My first customer, no, I didn't, because it was like a family member. So that was like, I was just trying to help them. And for your first couple clients, you're not really trying to charge a lot of money. You're just trying to get your skill out there. Now, if you got good skill, if you're good at what you do, then charge money that you need to be charging. But if it's family and friends, stuff like that, you kind of want to go easy and also know what the market value is, but kind of go easy. Don't charge them too much money if you charge them at all.
All right,
but the key, I'm gonna let you go. But the key is networking, network, meet people and build contacts. That's how you really get your whole freelance thing started. But thank you for the call.
Okay, bye.
Anthony, I'm glad you're here. And Steve, shout out to Steve and everybody. Let me shout out to somebody that just super chatted. Sanche Jones. Superb show like always. Some, not all Black Americans have no integrity, ethics, and don't stand for principles. Knucklejaggers. Thanks you guys for all the info. Let me just do this. I'm gonna go from ABL to Steve. Just real quick. ABL. Again, what's the problem with blacks asking for the athletes or the rappers? Why don't you help bail out the Black community? Like, we hear that so much. What's the problem with that in your opinion?
What is the athlete gonna do? You got to understand, a lot of these guys have trouble even keeping track of their own money. They like a lot of these guys go broke after they play. I saw a stat somewhere that said 80% of NFL players, and it may not have been that high, it may have been like 70%. 70 to 80% of NFL players go broke within 3 years of them not being in the league anymore. Like bankrupt, financial distress, messed up. So if that's going on, then how are they going to save the Black community? They can't even save themselves.
Right.
And then beyond that, what man was saying earlier about the gym, that was correct, because what he was saying was they'll go to Planet Fitness, Black folks now, right. They'll go to Planet Fitness, they'll do all that, and you'll see them there, but you won't see them at the Black-owned gym, right? So when you do something, if you have the ability, the mental ability to put something out there for Black folks to try and build an economy, will they even support it?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got guys that do investments and stuff and end up getting robbed. You got a real animalistic mentality in the Black community. What you say?
That happened to Simeon Rice too. He invested all that money, man, and it just disappeared. People stole it from him.
Yeah, they stole it. It's like, so okay, when you're trying to do something, if you don't get robbed, you're not gonna get supported. I mean, maybe you will on a low level, but not enough to be able to help the Black community go forward. And on top of that, half of these guys can barely read. Some of them struggle with the money after they get done playing. Mm-hmm. So if they can't help themselves, how are they going to save the Black community as a whole?
Fuck. That's a good point. Let me get to Steve real quick, because Steve, he's saying pretty much the same thing that you're saying, and in the context of You know, a lot of, I mean, here's the thing, Steve, that we have with a lot of athletes and entertainers, even me. I get emails all the time about people telling me, you know, just even on my small website, which is not even, you know, nothing major, but I get people always trying to hustle me and like in the deals. Yo, you should invest in this. We should collaborate with this. And one thing about me is I'm smart enough to know that it's not just money that makes the business. You need to be able to understand how that business works. And that's the thing that a lot of blacks understand. The capital in business, and I'm pretty good, I would say, somewhat successful as an entrepreneur. This is my first blog that I had. And this is my first go around and making money. Just people don't know that. I only get involved in the business if I know something about it. If I don't know anything about that business, I don't fuck with it. The problem is, Steve, is a lot of brothers they have the money to get into a business, but they don't know anything about that business. And so even if you have the money, but you don't know how that business works, you're still going to lose money.
Oh, absolutely. But also you go into business to win. Most black people don't know how to win. They don't have, don't say win. They don't have a winner's attitude. They don't have a conceited, self-centered attitude that I'm going to win at all costs. If that means knock the next motherfucker down, I'm going to do that. I mean, you got to be treacherous. Business is not sunshine and rainbows. It's ruthless because you have this thing called competition. The world is based off of competition. And if you don't have that quality in you, look, we can be friends. We can work together. That's why we all work together right now, because we're not in competition with each other.
Right.
We all have our own individual businesses, and we're coming together like a fucking transformer. That's going to work. But when you're in business, as a businessman, I don't give a fuck about the next man and what the next man's selling. I think I'm better than every motherfucking body. And every person that has a business should be thinking the same thing about themselves. And like I said before, O'Shea, if you ain't got that knack to say fuck you or say no, then you can't be in business. Because if you say yes to everybody, you're gonna be like MC Hammer, broke.
Oh yeah.
You need to listen. I truly believe if people don't hate you or not talking about you, you ain't doing something right. Because business ain't about fun. Business ain't about, yes, you create friendships with other businesses that aren't with yours, but when you're in business and competition with another motherfucker, it's you versus me. And at the end of the day, it's going to try to be me. Fuck you. You know what I mean? And again, you have to have a backbone.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be strong enough to tell somebody no and fuck you if you give me problems, or fire a person, or be able to fire a family member, or get rid of family members because they're doing more disservice. So it's not, like you say, everything you're saying is right, O'Shea, but these people just, I don't know if they know this. It's not just going in and say, hey, okay, well, my brother ABL and LAR Movement and O'Shea, guys, y'all come on and join my business. And LAR Movement is on crack. ABL's a drug dealer, and fucking O'Shea, you just I don't know, beating up monkeys or some shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You think, and if I don't have the guts to say, you know, I love you guys, but you can't work for me, then I'm going to fail. That's why businesses fail. It's financial and mental. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, no, I definitely, we see even that here in the black, and what they call the black manosphere, man, where you have that sort of that thing kind of going even with certain people. So let me do this. ABL also said this. Let me read what he said to the brother who was calling in about the
graphic design. So I told him to get a portfolio as well.
Go ahead and say it to where you and tell him about the have his own website with his portfolio.
Yeah, get a portfolio. Have a your own website, whatever your name is .com or close to it. Have a portfolio right there, which should work on it when it's good. And if you have any work right now, send it to me. My email is contact@anthonyblogan.com. Send me your work so I can see what's going on. I'll give you some tips. But that's all I wanted to say about that.
Okay, and also Mr. Grandeur, look how many likes the video has. Case in point, shout out to you, $5. Yeah, get your likes up, brothers, for the video. This particular stream, if we can. We have 170 people watching. Let's continue to get the likes up. This is what I want to say. Now I have used Fiverr, I have used Upwork.com before, but definitely some of the better graphic designers that I've ever worked with are because somebody introduced me. There's this one guy, shout out to a dude named Brian Tenadora. He's awesome, man. And I was working with a clothing label. And once you have a good graphic designer, it's a lifesaver, man. I just paid a lot of money for a logo. Not a lot of money, but it was
how much is a lot?
It was a lot. It was $100.
Well, you know,
that's not like.
Yeah, I need to do some business with you because I got a logo for my T-shirt designs I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
I forgot Anthony Bryan Logan does fucking I would have went through with you. But you're so rich with the YouTube shit. But I noticed, like, even with everything that I do with graphic design, I keep needing people, right? Because we're gonna come up with a lot of stuff. So graphic design, man, if you have a client that you can keep going with, web design, like WordPress, stuff like that, site designs, it's a good business, man. If you have a good clientele and people like me, I pay. So shit, like I have a comic coming out. I don't know if you see my comic yet, ABL. Have you seen it yet?
No, I've not seen your comic yet. You gotta send me if you got like a manuscript or something, whatever you got going on with it.
Yeah,
I saw the picture of you on the toilet. What's going on with that, man? That part of the comic?
Well, a little something. Hey, your stuff is good, man. Your stuff is professional, man. It's really nice. So again, man, for those of you who need graphic design, don't also forget that ABL, Anthony Bryan Logan, does this also, web design, stuff like that. So this is also his business. Do you still do this a lot, ABL?
I don't do it as much anymore. I what I do now mostly is like the website maintenance, the back end stuff, but I still design. Like it's like riding a bike. I still do design some, but I focus mostly on the back end stuff. Your WordPress. I got like probably about 15 to 20 websites that I manage like that on a server.
Damn. Okay. All right. So Steve, do we still have anybody left for the callers?
3 callers, yes, sir.
Okay, let's go ahead and bring him in, Steve.
Area code 306, you're on, and 937, you're next. 306, did you have a question?
Hey, how you doing, Steve? Let me whisper you.
This nigga go sing the whisper song to Steve. Oh, this nigga singing. Wait till you see my dick. His monkey ass out of here, Steve.
Yeah, like the fuck. Hell yeah, I'ma beat it up. Yeah. Hey Steve, wait till you see my dick. Wait till you see my dick. Wait till you see my dick. I'ma beat that pussy up. Hey Steve, wait till you see my dick.
Look at his face. His face like this.
I'ma fuck your booty up. Like beat Steve up, 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 beat Steve up.
Hey, BL had to change the thing. Like I can't see.
And I put my Hey Steve, can I put my dick in your butt?
Steve, man, what's up with these trolls, dog?
You waited fucking damn near 50 fucking minutes for that cake ass shit.
Now hang up on this stupid ass, man.
Stop this moment. Air code 937. What's your name? Where you calling from, sir?
This is Tony Maceo.
What up, Maceo?
What's happening?
That's one of our writers for the Negro Manosphere. What's up, man? Good you called in, fam.
I've heard all the criticisms from all the guys on the panel. But I say this. If you can't count on people to do the right thing, don't give them a choice. Here's what I mean when I say that. The question is, should an athlete come in and save the black people? No. Black people have to get off this savior complex that they have. Nobody's coming to save you. You have to save you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, any situation that anybody sets up in the black community, the first thing you're going to need is security. And if I'm going to get security, I'm going to look around for a black firm that I know that can provide that security. And I know there's one Search Black firm. The Nation of Islam has security contracts to maintain security. Do I give a damn about their religious philosophy? No. Can you keep these niggas in check when they get out of pocket? The answer is yes. I've seen them do it. That brings me to my second point. Anthony Brian Logan mentioned it, and he said it was networking. The power of networking is infinite.
Yes.
Here's what I mean. The Negro manosphere thrives off of networking. It started as one person's brainchild, but this person found Donovan Sharp, Alan Roger Curry, Ron Wells, so forth and so on. Which brings me to my third point. All those people who I just mentioned have a vested interest in the success of the Negro manosphere. And that's what we have to start doing through networking. You can't sit on your ass and think that just because you're being served, it stops there. If you set up a situation in the Black community, the people that are being served have to have a vested interest in whatever situation they're serving them.
Right.
Okay. I got a question for you, O'Shea, and anybody else that's ever been to college.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one thing you won't find in the financial aid line?
What's the one thing that you won't find in the financial aid line?
People who got money to pay.
Yes, that's true.
And Asian.
Yeah, usually. That's true. Typically. This same thing, yeah. You don't see them.
When they come and they work at these restaurants and we crack jokes on them, they're working in those restaurants for under minimum wage. This goes back to O'Shea's point about understanding business. They work in those restaurants for less than minimum wage and they live off the tips. But guess what? Their financial aid is paid. Their room and board is paid. The motherfucker that just bought me my chicken fried rice drove off in a 2017 BMW SUV.
Yep. They own a restaurant. They have ownership.
Yep.
Yeah. So because they have that, they're working in that restaurant. They ain't fixing a minimum wage. Their business works on a collective model. Their young people don't suffer from college debt.
Mm-hmm.
And then they employ their young people to work in an administrative capacity in that business.
That is true. Yeah, that's true. Even the Asians that go to medical school here.
Moral of the story, keep these niggas in check. Put these niggas to work. And if they do what they're supposed to do, put them in the network. I'm gone.
Nah, and that's Tony Maceo, man, senior writer over at the Negro Manosphere on Tuesdays. Hey, let me tell you this, man. I got a cold lineup. I got to get Tony on the podcast, man. What do you think about what he said, ABO? You got any disagreements with what he said?
Nah, he's right on point. He's right on point with what he said. You know, I'll handle disagreements with that.
Usually, ABL has 100% degree. Okay. What about you, LAR?
I grew up in New Orleans when I was a kid, and on the east side, it's the Vietnamese neighborhood. Seen that every time I would go back from Chicago. And now where I live at outside of Houston, they building a Chinatown right around the corner from my house. And I know how they did it. The same thing he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody want to talk about Black Wall Street. That's pretty much what the Chinese people have been doing, or the Asian folks have been doing. And they'll just call that shit Chinatown, and it'll be Vietnamese, Cambodian, Chinese, Korean, you know, just so you can come over there and bring your money with you.
No, I agree. Steve, wake your ass up, dog. Steve. White women over here. White women, naked white women.
Yes, okay.
White women, do you see them?
Yeah.
Oh man, they're everywhere. Titties, white titties everywhere, dog. And let's stop talking about black people and start talking about white women with big titties. This will keep this nigga up.
Oh man. Oh yeah, man. I'm listening, man. You got other
you fell asleep, dog. What you been doing all day, man? You been jacking off?
Oh man, y'all were talking, man. I was letting y'all talk.
No, nigga, you fell asleep. What you been doing all day, man?
Some Yin Yang twins got him, man. He messed up his whole groove.
Yeah, man. Niggas talking about eating your booty and shit, man. Put your ass to sleep, bro. You like, man, I can't keep thinking about this shit. ABL had to turn his camera off, man.
Yeah, man, I had to go, man. I don't know what was going on with that. I had to take a little break.
Hey, man, Steve has created so much hate between the callers that But I'll tell you what, Steve, we won't keep you on too long, man. We'll just go through the rest of the callers and we'll end it.
No, we're good. We only got 25 minutes left. We got 510. Is 937 done?
Yeah, 937 is done. He's done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, area code 510. You're on Wish Game. Where you calling from?
Hey, it is E calling from the Bay Area. What's going on, fellas? The question, I would say for the most part, no. But I would say this: what if all the athletes, celebrities, people that were doing well decided to invest in like an academy? Because it seems like, based on what we're seeing, is the number of brothers who got their stuff together trying to do right, we're outnumbered by the ignorance who don't want to, whether they were raised improperly or just never got the proper values. And it's got to stop somewhere, because we got our act rights and understand you got to work hard, you got to put in work, you can't be afraid to fail. We understand that. And as far as business, a lot of black folks think they supporting blacks because they see us on TV. We're like the number one marketing stuff. You got all these Fortune 500 companies signing Steph Curry, Dak Prescott, and we'll be, there goes Curry endorsing Muscle Milk. Let me go buy Muscle Milk because I'm supporting black people. No, you're not. They know that put a black man in a suit. Let me go shop at Express. We have all the juice and no sugar. And that's sad because we're the most spending community, but at the same time, we can't invest in ourselves because of the crab mentality. We don't know how business works 101, and we don't want to put in the work. So what I was saying back to the whole idea is theoretically speaking, and I want to know what y'all opinion is off the air. If they invested in an academy in like Chicago, Oakland, I know we were talking about the rioting, but I mean, like the brother said before, get some real security and let it be something where we get these youngins at a young age where they are forced. You don't give them no answers. I'm Nigerian. You know what I'm saying? My parents didn't take no for an answer. You either put your best or you got your ass whooped, period. And I benefited from it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's got to stop somewhere because we spend the most money. We want to rock Louis, Gucci, and all this other stuff, but we can't do nothing for ourselves. And then we want to blame it on other people. There's some people around, but we got to look ourselves in the mirror. So I believe we got to get like an academy or something to where the newer generation, because it's only getting worse. And, the second you start talking proper, articulating a certain way, or you get lost, you ain't going to stay in the hood long enough because you should eventually want to get out the hood. It may be fun and it's good to be around your folks, but if it ain't productive, it ain't doing nothing, and it's not safe, you're going to get out. My bad. I know I've been rambling. I just want to get your thoughts on that.
Let me answer it first real quick, Steve. I'll let Steve get to it in LAR ABL. Here's my problem with athletes starting academy. I still say no. And the reason why is you niggas have enough money to do your own fucking academy. Like, even with 100 and something people watching on this show today, this super chat is like raised at least over $200. What that tells me is, without anybody bailing us out, that you have the expendable money. If you want to start an academy, it's something that the community can support, right? Just like the community of my small fans that I have supports the blog that we have. Black people got to start supporting what they want. I'm going to say that again. Black people got to stop supporting what they want. Again, stop looking for the athletes to come up with the money to start an academy. If there's a deal for academy, and shout out to Ziz99, and you guys want an academy, all black people collectively, I mean, let's say if it's 25,000 blacks in Detroit, all of y'all don't have $10 a month that you can put into that? Or all of you can't pledge $100 in the year? Or all of you can't do $20. I mean, there's so much. I mean, it's like Detroit where you have over 100,000 blacks. All of there's around 100,000 blacks that can't put in $5 a month to keep Academy going at $500,000 a month. I mean, again, you black people out there, you should be able to have a vested interest, like Tony said, in what you want to see. Again, athletes starting Academy for blacks, it takes away the responsibility of you Negroes, black and white, to not have a vested interest because you're going to keep looking for the athletes to support it. And that's not how it works. Black people have to have a vested interest in what they want to see happen. That means with your money and your dollars, we tell black men all the time, you want to see voting rights change for you? Vote. Vote. I say vote Republican, right? For certain reasons. You ain't got to like white folks, but vote. Vote with your dollars. Don't ask anybody to vote. Vote. And so many blacks are looking for somebody to say, oh, well, let's start an academy. No, you do it. You know how to buy an iPhone, don't you, nigga? You know how to buy some fucking Jordans, don't you? You know how to buy a Gucci shirt with your punk ass, don't you? You can buy some Hennessy bottles. You know how to go to fucking Vegas. You know how to, you understand that costs. You ain't gonna ask an athlete, hey, dog, can I get the iPhone 10? No, you know that costs money. You know Jordan's cost. You know Tim's cost. So why the fuck would you go and turn and ask something that you want to see in your community, ask somebody else to build it for you? That's nigga type shit. If you want to see things happen for your community, in whatever community it's the black male community, black male lifestyle, whatever it is, then you niggas support it. Steve, what you think I said on that?
Well, the problem is that I agree with what you're saying. I wouldn't build these motherfucking shit because
preach.
Doing what you got to understand, caller, is that you're putting a rug over a bigger problem.
Yes.
It's not the fact that you need to build an academy. We got to go a little bit deeper as far as the schools are fine with parents that are involved in the schools. The problem is that it's not the academy, it's not the schools, it's these single ass women that are spitting these bastard kids out one by one and not watching these fuckers. That's the problem. We don't need an academy. What we need to do is try to get some congressmen and people in there to create laws that will fucking put these bitches in jail for having these fucking kids all fucked up. That's what we need to do because school system, I'm not saying that every school system is great, but if you are involved in the school, that means you go to the PTA meetings. That means you talk to the teachers. That means I don't know if they have them over here where you can, they got this, I mean, this is some cake shit I wish I had when I was small, but they got shit where you got this thing where you can go online and they'll tell you the assignments that are missed. They will tell you what assignments they have. They will tell you what grade they have right now. They have that kind of information. But what I'm saying is, if we built an academy for kids, we're doing a great disservice because once the academy lights go off, they still got to go home to their shitty parents who might not watch and make sure they do their homework or their assignments and all this other stuff because they're too busy out there trying to fuck with Pookie and Ray Ray or what have you. So we need to destroy the academy, number one. But number two, I don't want to ask those athletes for anything. Fuck them. You know, it pisses me off when I watch. You know, I hate watching the NFL draft. You know why I hate it? Because I'm like, if I was that star athlete, nah, none of you bitches gonna be in the same room with me when I get that phone call. Is you motherfuckers ain't getting that money. I don't know why y'all cheering and clapping as if y'all won the lottery. Bitch, you ain't getting nothing in mine. None of you motherfuckers. So I don't want the athlete to do it because you know what? These athletes are already ignorant as it is and they're wasting their money. So fuck them. What we need to do is we got to find a way to cut off or hopefully educate our black men more to stop. Fuck them, but wear rubbers because they are not accountable for themselves. So we got to be accountable for what we do. So I would rather educate young kids on if you're gonna fuck with a ratchet bitch, make sure you wrap up because sooner or later she's gonna try to have a kid from you. She's irresponsible, doesn't take accountability for her actions, so don't have kids from them. Because we can't, we trying to help women, we can't win that battle because the government's already set up the way it is. And I don't mean to rant, but I'm just saying that's why this shit ain't gonna work well.
I feel you 100%, bro.
That was a good point. It's a better
Can
point than I had. LER, what do you think about that, man?
Because I grew up on the West Side, right? They do have academies in Chicago. They just don't get publicized like the gangs do. But I'm gonna use my high school for an example. I was at the typical, stereotypical high school that they think, you know, they got all the best athletes. We was in one of the best conferences in the state in certain things. I'll tell you what they did. There was two sides. There was an east and there was a west. After I left, because we had the stereotypical things, the things that they didn't tell you, that we had a lot of Mensa people at our school, but we were supposed to be the poor black school. The parents weren't supportive. The parents didn't come to the PTA meetings. The community didn't enforce their tax incentives to invest back into the school. So what they did was they built another school for the North. They took some of the people out. Then they built another school that was a magnet school to get all of the smartest people out. So now the original school that I went to got all of the worst of the worst. And the magnet school got the best ones. And the North just got the kids that just didn't want to be around the rough stuff, because the community itself did not reinvest in the best and brightest in the community. So that's why I say it's the community's fault at the end of the day. And we've had the NBA players, the NFL players, the MLB players, the Olympic wrestlers, you know, entertainers that won Grammys, because it's the hood basically. But nobody wants to talk about the guys who average 4.9s and go to college on academic scholarships. There are many of them that come out every year. They don't go there no more though.
No, I agree. And shout out to Julian Brown and Carlos Jean. And last but definitely not least, ABL, what's your take on it, man?
Okay, now the thing about the academy, that's not gonna solve anything. The problem with black education is the lack of proper home life, like Steve was talking about.
Yeah.
Dad was telling me about this. He knows a lot about the school system in the local area, like in Norfolk, here in Virginia. And he was saying that, why is it that we keep talking about black kids? I'm paraphrasing. He didn't say his word for word, but why is we keep talking about black kids going to school like a school to prison pipeline? But the white kids, we want to say the same thing. A black kid could be in school right next to a white kid. The white kid does not go to prison, but the black kid does. And why is a black kid performing worse in school than the white kid and the Asian kid and everybody else? Well, how about this? How about at home, they're not prepared for school before they get there? I'm talking about kindergarten. When they first get into school, they're not prepared at all. Look at it like this. You got little Johnny, the white kid, right? His mom is preparing meals in the morning. She has like a little lesson plan for him when he's 2 or 3 years old. She has flashcards. She's teaching him his colors, how to read, how to count to 10, doing little math problems, having to watch Sesame Street, all kind of stuff, reading Rainbow, all of that. I watched all of that when I was a kid, by the way. My mom taught me all of that when I was a kid. So when I went to kindergarten, I was ahead of everybody. I'm in the all black community, right? But I'm ahead of everybody. I'm getting A's easily because I can read already. I can write already. I can write my own name. I can count to 10. Most kids in the black community cannot read at all when they get to kindergarten, cannot count, cannot write their own name. They don't know their colors. They don't know anything. But the white kids, they know all of that. So they're already behind. So that gap never gets closed because the lessons are the same. The gap never gets closed. So when they get to 3rd grade, you could tell at that point whether the child is going to be successful in life or unsuccessful. The white kid can read on grade level or beyond. They're already far beyond the black kid who is still trying to catch up from not having any kind of education at all up until the point where you got to school. So if you want to talk about education, it starts in the home. And if you want to improve education, I say do more homeschooling, not just when they are very young and not of school age, but also beyond school age. Do more of that in general. If your kid is going to a bad school and they're not getting fed properly, somebody got to be at home teaching the kids some stuff and letting them know what's really going on, rather than the mother being on the phone, smoking weed, drinking, watching Love and Hip Hop, going to the club. Maybe she could be a real woman and be at home and tell that little boy or little girl how to read, how to write, how to do all the things they're going to need into the future. Stop being so selfish and worried about your own personal gain, your own personal life, trying to live as a child, trying to live like you don't have children, and put your time into the child, then they'll be better. If we don't do that, then we're gonna have to keep having these same problems, talking about all these solutions. It ain't gonna be fixed until we get the core of the problem solved, like Steve said.
I totally agree.
Yeah, we have another call in. We have another call. When you have
Okay, what's the next caller, Steve?
Code 323. What's your name? Your question, sir. 323.
Excuse me?
Yes.
It's me?
Yes.
Yeah, I got one thing to say. This Chi-Town, man, from 323. This Big Malcolm Little, O'Shea.
I don't know who Malcolm Little think, but
Back to the community, I think it's the same issue that we have when all blacks get successful. And that issue being that, like these athletes, for instance, right, the minute they get on a pro team and they start getting money, they go through what's called orientation. They put them through orientation. The minute they get to college, they put them through a higher orientation the minute they get through the pros. And what they teach them is to stay away from your old neighborhoods, stay away from the people you grew up with. Cause problems, you can get into trouble. And what ends up happening is we get hijacked. Not just our brightest athletes, our brightest minds. They go through these inner orientations and they get convinced that they should stay away from the neighborhoods that they came from. And at the end of the day, what we lose as the neighborhood is the intellectual property that we put into the product.
Now, hold up, fam.
We'll be able to separate our best.
I gotta get on this.
Our brightest from our least brightest or our least best.
They have to. They have no choice.
Seems to be a big difference from the past. I don't know about, today, but I know from the past, that seems like a big difference. Athletes didn't make as much back then, but they came back to the communities. It wasn't a separation. Now we have this separation, and it's not just with athletes. It's with professionals. That's all I had to say about that, sir. I'll wait for your comments.
Okay, go ahead, Eliar.
The orientation ain't about staying away from black people. The orientation is about staying away from fuck ups.
Yes. And
that's what we like. What we don't want to say publicly or don't want to admit publicly.
Hold on, I'm sorry, ABL. We still got you on 323. You're just so much noise. We couldn't hear them talk. But go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you, ABL. Go ahead.
No, you got it, bro.
Go ahead, you got it.
The one thing we don't want to admit or say publicly is when we have successful people in our community, there is no support system for the people. There's no people standing up for the people who do them wrong. There's no people say, hey, you got it. No, you just robbed them. You need to give them that back.
Yes.
You just hustled them. You got to give them that back. They can't keep coming home and can't keep doing this shit for y'all. And then y'all just run off with because brothers don't want to heard this a million times. You got money, but you got it though.
Yep. Oh man. Famous
so
lines.
Orientation is not what they're talking about. When they say stay away from your friends, they saying stay away from your fuck up friends. And if you got real friends that's real street dudes are really in the street and really about that life like that know you, they not gonna hang out with you until you retire because they don't want your ass getting in trouble for being around them.
Yep.
So it's an understood thing already. A lot of people just don't want to admit that it's a lot of people in our community who want out so bad they're willing to fuck over somebody that made it, but they don't want to say that they're really the culprit of some bullshit. So I'm gonna shut up.
Hey man, that was well said. That's 100% on point. The thing about staying away from your friends, you have to do that. You have no choice because look at prime example. Look at Meek Mill. How old is this dude still going to jail for fighting in the street, stupid stuff that he could avoid if he was not around those that he probably grew up with, people that still in the street have nothing to lose. Okay, these guys he's getting in trouble with can go to jail and nobody really cares. It's not really a big deal. They probably don't have a job anyway. Their job is probably just to be around Meek Mill and ask him for money. But see, when Meek Mill goes to jail, he's making a lot of money. He's probably the breadwinner in many households, and not just talking about he got kids and he paying child support. I'm talking about these guys who's hanging around him, depend on him to get money so they can bring back to their families. So he has a responsibility. You are in the position of power and in the position of, of true importance. So you can't just be around these people who do not have that same type of situation going on. If your friends are in your same position, if your friends have the same stakes in life that you have, then that makes sense. But if they don't, then it's an uneven situation. And really what you do in that situation, you become a target. You go back to the hood, you got money, whatever, you the star NFL player. You can't just be around the hood. It's going to be somebody there that's going to try to take advantage of you, who's going to try to rob you. You're going to be the target. So you have to leave. You have no choice. You would like to be able to stay. You would like to be able to help. You like to be able to contribute to the intellectual property of that particular place, but you cannot, because that place is not conducive for that to happen. It's that simple.
Can I say something real quick? Do y'all realize after all of these years we've watched all these people, there's only been like one Maverick Carter. The rest of the people have just been entourage people fucking shit up.
Yes.
So that's why you stay away from them fools. It's only one Maverick Carter. One.
Yep. And the thing about it is LeBron probably has other friends that he could have put in that same position, but Maverick Carter was somebody that he could trust. Maverick Carter was somebody that was already, like probably doing well back in Akron or Cleveland or whatever. But just your regular everyday person is not going to be him. So you can't be around them. You got to be very selective if you're going to be around anybody at all. But to be in that environment, it's just too many variables, too many things to go wrong. Why risk that? You got this career, you making this money. This is something that can impact your whole life going forward. So why would you risk that just to be around some of these people from your past? It doesn't make any sense.
Let me just say this, and you guys hit on some great points. You guys know I've been living in Poland for going over 2 years. I haven't been home in 16 months. It has nothing to do with the fact that I don't love my family or that I can't afford to go home. I don't really need a lot of money. I don't really have a lot of money, but I can go without hurting myself, anywhere close. France, Italy, Brazil. I'm kind of close to everything except for like South America, Africa. I can do that easily without any problem. One of the reasons why I'm not really so ecstatic about going home is because of everything that even ABL just said. And I'm a nobody in comparison to these guys. If I had that kind of money and that kind of status, I'm definitely not going home because there's nothing there for you. I had a buddy, man. I have two buddies that I went to high school with. One is a wide receiver, Dante Stallworth. Went to my same high school, Grant High School. The other one of my buddies is named Ontario Smith. You guys remember him? He was a running back for the Minnesota Vikings. Grew up with this guy since we were little kids, man, 9 and 10 years old and stuff. And one of the reasons why he had a promising career ahead of him before they took Adrian Peterson, I mean, you back home kicking it with the hood niggas, man, gambling, 5,000, shooting dice and shit like that. And, that's the thing, man. Bum people hang around bum people. And just because, you have a lot of money, you don't want to hang around those people because they can't teach you shit. You can't learn nothing from them. Think about it, man. I love my family to death. My family taught me everything they could teach me. Now, I've surpassed most of my family in anything that they've done, right? And there's a big difference between what I'm doing and what my family's doing. And that's just one of the reasons why I'm developing is because I'm not with them. And that's the same thing, man. When you come back around those people after you've been exposed to the good life, they cannot do nothing but bring you down. And either you're going to bring them up or they're going to bring you down. And typically you're not going to bring them up. So, right. Yeah. So, Steve, you want to get on this?
No, I agree with you. I believe that you gotta cut your losses, and I don't mean cut them off. You just gotta keep people at a certain distance, but you also gotta let them know that you are a man. A lot of these young men who want to try business still have mommy trying to tell them how to what carpet they should have in their fucking office or some shit, or what towel. I mean, so there's got to be. This is not having a business is not as what they try to make it seem to be. It's a lot of hard work, but it's a lot of tough decisions that you got to make. And if you're not ready to make those decisions as a head, you might as well just be a consumer and just keep buying shit, because business is a very treacherous game and only the big boys can play it.
Yeah, that's true, man. Business is a yeah. Somebody asked if I know Paris Warren. Yeah, man. Paris is like my little bro, man. If, you know, me and Paris are we're real cool. I've been knowing Paris over 25 years, man. So he's on my friends list on my real page and stuff like that. So shout out to him. That's another guy, man. You know, he had a lot of potential, man, and everything. He got hurt, but again, you know, dealing with the same niggas, it's hard to come up, man.
Can
It's
I
hard
make
to
a
come up.
correlation?
Rest in peace, Buddy. Yeah, Buddy is his older brother. Brother got killed from Fresno about 3-4 years ago. All right, so let me do this real quick. Any other callers, Steve?
No, that was it, sir. That was that was.
Yeah. So let me just do this. I mean, I don't know if I really had anything else to say. I guess if you guys had something that you wanted to say, we could talk about ABL.
What's up?
Hey, let me ask you this, ABL. I mean, because you know you're in the political thing, and you know, do you think like even what the black sector that we have over here, and what you see us trying to do you think that what we're doing is showing that black people can work together, can, you know, create an economy, in your opinion? Or
I mean, yeah, I mean, I think that's known that we can do it, but the question is to what scale. That's the issue that we have, is a scale. You know, I think being able to work together, that's not really the question, but how much and for how long, I don't know. I think we got something good going on here. You guys have something going. You guys have something great over here, but the question is to what scale and for how long.
That's the thing. Let me say this real quick, because you said that, right? When I look at a podcast, and you always got to measure it not to just black people, but I'm looking at the Drunken Peasants, and the Drunken Peasants are like when it comes to YouTube podcasts, man, they must be like the gods. You know what I'm saying? Because 55 million views on the Drunken Peasants. Their Patreon is ridiculous. You know what I mean? They have over 400 podcasts, and what you're saying is so much, man, because with us, you know, we can have so many, you know, something good going for a minute and then niggas fall out and shit like that. But these dudes have 1,300 Patreons, 143,000 people on YouTube. It's been going on for 4 years. And I mean, me and Steve look at these numbers all the time, and we look at can we get there? You know what I mean? Now, hopefully, we can get there and keep it to work, because they have over 400 podcasts. I know the Brother Pill has at least 50 by now, but that's true. Can you keep it going as long as them? Can you keep coming every day as long as them? And that's a good point. Eliar, what do you have to say?
I just thought about this. The one similarity that black athletes, entertainers, intellectuals, even the family of military brats have that set them all apart from people, quote unquote, in the hood, is travel. They go places and they see how other people live and actually see the lives that they dream about living or want to live. I remember one of the first things that opened me up as a kid is when we first moved from New Orleans to Silver Spring, and then moved back to Chicago. And then I would travel from Chicago to either DC or New Orleans, and I saw how people lived, and I saw the things that people did. But what I also saw was every time I go back to New Orleans, everybody's in the same neighborhood, never moved nowhere. When I go back to Chicago, everybody in the same neighborhood, never moved nowhere. And then you have that same mindset just permeates over and over and over again. And even if people go out the community and come back, you can't work with people who've never thought outside of their neighborhood.
Right.
Yes.
So that's what just popped up.
No, man, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And last but not least, man, Steve, and I thank Steve so much. I get to those people of Patreon. What up, Steve, man? What do you any last closing words tonight?
No, I just when you look at the Drunken Peasants, you just see that what white support can get you. If black people supported the way these white people support these guys right here, it'd be a whole different ball game. But like I say, you have like they look like they're in a trailer park. Not to knock them, but I'm just saying it's just a boring ass show.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking them at all. They got the numbers, and hey, you got to give them the respect. But that's the white support. That's the support system or the Asian support, the Jewish support. We will never get this. The only and what's sad for me is the only support we get is when we're complaining. When we don't have, if we have solutions, nobody wants to hear solutions. They just want to sit around and have a pity party and complain and complain and complain. And O'Shea, just like you say, we talked about this today. Complain. Like they create. If you create something that complains, they love that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's no solutions and all you can do is sit around and bitch, man, you know how many fucking hits you're gonna get. But we got to give somebody who is problematic a solution, answer. They can't connect that dot because that means I can't bitch no more. You solved my problem, and if I can't bitch no more, that means I'm not with the pack. And if I'm not with the pack, that means I'm all by myself. And if I'm all by myself, that means I can't be alone. And if I'm alone, that means I'm gonna have to start doing drinking, drugs, and something. No. I don't want the solution. I just want to go with the pack, because if I'm with the pack, then it's safe here. That's our problem, man.
Here's what I will say about the Drunken Peasants podcast. And they have been on for 4 years. This will be going on to the 5th year. So 2019 will make the 5th year. So in comparisons, I don't know what their podcast was like if they were to start off when we started off, but in comparisons to sometimes whites, to get the job done, I want to say this. A lot of times, we got to look at the fact that these guys have 400 something podcasts over that time, and all of them individually are big YouTubers. I know the Amazing Atheist has 1 million YouTube subscribers, so yeah, you got to factor into that. But I think what we're seeing over here, Steve, in this part of what we now call the manosphere, or the Negro manosphere, or black male content, is that the black men are very responsive to what we are doing. And then we also got to, keep in the contact that, YouTube, as ABL has pointed out, it is dominated by English speaking whites. And we are dealing with a market that's not used to having content for them. But what we're seeing is, I think that black men and black people, if you put out content that people like, and if you put out stuff people like, they'll support it. This show is evident. I think the website that we have is evident. The thing is, I think with blacks is understanding who your niche is, who the content's for, and can you produce a product that people are willing to support. I think the Negro Manosphere has answered the question that they can do that. We can do that. I think the content that is written, the ebooks that we have put out, the podcast and the contest that we have put out, we've shown that, hey, these guys are, the real deal. And I think this is what black people need to understand, is to be consistent, to do the things every day, to do the same things, and be there, show up, and do the job, have content that blacks want to hear, your audience wants to hear. You have a lot of content creators who are poor content creators. I'll just speak to that real quickly before we go there. But I put a lot of effort into creating the content that I feel that my audience wants to hear, talk about. Last year, I talked a lot more of major things that were going on in the universe, and I got a lot more views. But I have hence left from that. I don't talk about too many hot things anymore. And I create more podcasts now. I create more collaborations now, more interviews. And I think, again, a lot of black YouTubers are poor content creators, very poor. And a poor content creator is going to get poor results. I think that anybody that can come on YouTube, whether it's a blog or a podcast, And if you are a person that is strong in what you're doing, you can be consistent, and your audience is good. Your audience will support you. So I think it's just a matter of you adjusting to what people want, not what you want. It's a difference between you making content about what the fuck you want to talk about and what other people want to hear. That's the difference. And you need to be able to migrate the two. Again, we have a lot of poor content creators in Black YouTube. I have to say that. LER, anything else you want to say?
No, I mean, you hit it on the head. Everybody wants Wakanda as if that's just going to happen overnight. You got to build it. So,
Yeah, man. And I really, really believe that. And, so I will say, for at least for Black men, we've shown that, Black business or Black media can live well, can do very well. Me and Steve really work hard. I want to give another shout out to Steve, man. Steve is just an excellent person. Tried to send the niggas some money today. He said no again. So I think what I'm going to have to do is send the money to LAR Movement and have LAR Movement send it to Steve. So that way
I'm going to say no and send it back to your ass too.
So I just really want to thank all of you, ABL, man. We've really, since I've been knowing him, I'm subscribed to him on Patreon, and he's really, keeps elevating. And, a lot of us have followed him and support him on his shows, and BiPi, other moderators. I just think that we just keep this thing going, and, it'll do very well. I want to give a shout out to a few super chat donations. Jordan Arnell, the best podcast out. Lisa Jean, you guys are hitting on some supremely important stuff. Thanks from Canada, all the way from Canada. Thank you so much. Darren, expectations play a part. I remember teachers in grade school showed me less attention because I was an athlete. I turned out fine, but other athletes didn't. Pollard DJ09, no twerk videos, 4 million views. Business vids, 2,000 views on YouTube. Sure. Appreciate ABL, LEL. So let's, O'Shea, in the Bay, Black hoodies and gold teeth are valued. We are from the same region. Have people given mouth because of your change and growth? I mean, the Valley in Sacramento follows the Bay Area. I mean, dude, I've always been a smart dude. I've been a tweener. I was a smart nigga. I cussed niggas out. I lived in it. Nobody really gave me too much shit for being smart, because I would fight and I would cuss niggas out. So I was a very unique anomaly. I was not really a nerd nigga like that. I was a dude that was always smart, but nobody really considered me a nerd and shit. I was a tweener and everything like that. But I don't know, Steve, anything else you want to say to close it out, dog?
No, just as always, thanking the moderators and everything for the work that they do, and this is what we do. And everybody on the panel just giving the information that they are. Hopefully, it won't fall on deaf ears.
Again, man, I just want to say this. Thanks to everybody, man. I always, this gonna sound cakish, man, but Steve is really the heart of this podcast, bro. I mean, because I have to say no offense to LER. I love LER when he can come on, but LER is busy, and one person that we always know that's gonna be talking shit every fucking show is gonna be Steve. Every show, man. And you know what? Steve doesn't have to do this. He's on the Snitch Network. He'd be tired and shit. He's falling asleep. But Steve's always ready to do a show, man. And he's always willing to help people. He calls people after the show. He helps people with their website. Don't charge him for that, even though, y'all should pay him. Steve is the heart of the show, bro. And we don't ever want to forget that. And the work that you do, man, I can never thank you enough for just like I said, the impact you've had on my life, man, and things you've helped me see. You helped me step my shit up. And I'm glad to be around good people like you, ABL, LAR Movement, man. You guys, sometimes you can't meet the friends in life that you want to meet in real life, but you meet them somewhere else on the internet. Even though I don't know these guys, these guys are my brothers, man. I support these guys, whether it's financially. I bought products from LAR before, and he's done the same for me. So if you can't find the brothers you can find in real life, man, get in the comments with some of these people that you see and add them on Facebook. Network. Yeah. Anything else you want to say, ABL?
No, that's pretty much it, man. Say thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate it. I got my live show tonight. I may do a little bit early, may not. Usually 9 p.m. Eastern time tonight on my channel, and I'll put a link to that in the box below. It's a call-in show, so if you want to call, ask me a question about some political stuff or something closely related, you could talk to me about that.
What about Angel? Can he call in?
Hey, everybody can call in.
Angel be calling Steve sexy and shit, man. That should be hilarious.
Hey, man, I don't got nothing to do with that.
All right, man. We out this thing, man. Peace out.
Peace.
Oh shit.